Lights they flicker and the candles glitter like you're in a thriller. Heart goes pum pum pum. Ghostly figures they can get so bitter. Sure you want to enter, you can turn back now. You don't know where I've been. What's going on inside? Where the monsters like to come alive, come alive. Do you really wanna know me? I'm really not that cozy. It's up to you, so you decide, you decide. Would you love me up my words till the coffin's in the dirt? Try to break me like a curse, you know that will never work. I'm a little bit absurd. I like dancing on the verge. Anyone can love a pretty little mansion, but could you love a haunted, haunted house? Or could you love me now? A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. A haunted, haunted house. If you'll just check it out. A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. Broken windows and a warning scribbled on my wall saying that you better turn around. Wouldn't be the first to try to burn me down. Your move, you do. Would you love me up my words till the coffin's in the dirt? Try to break me like a curse, you know that will never work. I'm a little bit absurd. I like dancing on the verge. Anyone can love a pretty little mansion, but could you love a haunted, haunted house? Or could you love me now? A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. A haunted, haunted house. If you'll just check it out. A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. Could you love a haunted, haunted house? Or could you love me now? A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. A haunted, haunted house. If you're just taking sides. A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. My words till the coffin's in the dirt. Anyone can love a pretty little mansion. Lights they flicker and the candles glitter like you're in a thriller. Heart goes pum pum pum. Ghostly figures they can get so bitter. Sure you want to enter, you can turn back now. You don't know where I've been. What's going on inside? Where the monsters like to come alive, come alive. Do you really wanna know me? I'm really not that cozy. It's up to you, so you decide, you decide. Would you love me up my words till the coffin's in the dirt? Try to break me like a curse, you know that will never work. I'm a little bit absurd. I like dancing on the verge. Anyone can love a pretty little mansion, but could you love a haunted, haunted house? Or could you love me now? A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. A haunted, haunted house. If you'll just check it out. A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. Broken windows and a warning scribbled on my wall saying that you better turn around. Wouldn't be the first to try to burn me down. Your move, you do. Would you love me up my words till the coffin's in the dirt?
Okay, there we go. My mic was unplugged. Hi everybody. Welcome. Are you excited for more Scarlet Hollow? Because I am. I have been so hyped for this game. We've been replaying it the last few weeks, just to refresh on what's going on. But now we are going back to our original canon save file, where Gretchen is still alive. Unfortunately, that means the farmer is not. And the girls all made it out, but the librarian's daughter got her leg amputated. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let the recap play. I've all seen the content warning. It is a horror game. No! It's not responding. Give me a second. We'll get it back up. Anyway, yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. I feel like we'll probably get... It did crash immediately. We will probably get more interaction with Wayne, because we have seen him every single day. And yet, the going into the, like, ghost thing was, like, an escalation. We did interact with him a lot more. So, I think we'll see Wayne some more. And then, I think we're going to sneak in to the hospital, because we had noticed some funky things going on there, including another seal. So we've now seen 2 seals in game. We've seen in the preview the hint for the 3rd one. So I think we'll see it. But anyway, game's coming up finally. So we'll go ahead and load into our usual save file and let the recap play. The decision you made in episode 3 bears heavy physical consequences, and a visual reminder of those consequences will follow you for the rest of the game. You can reduce the intensity of this visual reminder or remove it entirely at any point in the preferences. Interesting. We did, in our recent replay, we managed to argue our way out with the ghost, but in our canon playthrough, we did choose to give up some of our years. So I'm going to be interested to see what happens with that. Yes, give me the recap. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and seedy depots that felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Pearl and Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I would go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Pain, rot, decay. Come on, you, whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. As the creatures in the tree line grow louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. Sorry, Duke. You dive forward and scoop Gretchen into your arms just before she manages to wriggle out of her harness. Your eyes fixate on the dark tree line over Duke's shoulder. Sorry, Duke. God damn it! Oh. Stella, keep an eye on her for us. Make sure she doesn't get into any more trouble. Also, we're not romancing anybody in this run. My grandmother called them ditchlings, and they are a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come. From the relative safety of your cousin's uncomfortable guest bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe and you're warm. Oh good, he's still here. Yeah, we didn't get, no, we didn't make him in bed this time, but we do still see his mom, I think. But listen, you better stay out of trouble today. I want you home by sunset. Don't want to hear complaints, just do what I ask, and we won't have any more problems. Tabitha takes a few steps towards the door. Sunset. Wow, that is some heavy stuff. No wonder Cella's seemed distant. I'm gonna keep my ears open for you. The diner is where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out. Nothing strenuous, we promise. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyways. Stay home. Wait for the week to end. Don't keep putting yourself in the path of danger. This is all I ask. Why do you care, Wayne? Why do you care? As the miners pack their things, you scribble your phone number onto a scrap of paper. Hey, thanks for the help. It was great to meet you all. You reach toward Isaac's and shake his hand, passing your note to his palm. Don't mention it. Did get info from Isaac's. As you leave Tabitha's office, you take a moment to get your bearings, only to be interrupted by sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over a crest of a hill. She didn't. I guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. But the Shaw Mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago. After a collapse that killed over 100 people. You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. What is it? You know I'm in a meeting. A kid just snuck into the Shaw Mine? I figure you should know. What? Are you serious? Why do these things keep happening to me? Ugh, whatever. I'll head over there as soon as I can. Just stay where you are and wait for me, alright? God, I don't even know why I try to reason with you. It's not like you'll listen. My dad is a foreman at the continuous mining facility, and he says they only abandoned this mine because there wasn't enough coal left. So it's actually really safe, and we can hang out here whenever we want. Correction. Your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job tomorrow morning. My dad says our house is haunted. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. Wait a second, where did 3 of you run off to? Are you kidding me? There's something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest, like the deep growl of a predator. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there! Your cousin dives towards you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. Sammy, are you alright? But wait, Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them here. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Surroundings quake as the mine collapses around you. I feel so sad for her, but at least all of the girls got out alive. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. You collapse in Tabitha's dusty guest bed, your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw Mine, you barely even notice the dust. When you close your eyes, you see Rosalina's face, twisted with pain, staring up at you with tear-streaked cheeks. Trapped by powers beyond her control, terrified of what her now uncertain future will hold. Sorry, Rosalina. There are 2 of them now. What happened to your glass house? Asshole squatter moved in. Kicked Dustin Long out. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the 2 of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Sammy, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for Oscar and poor little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened to nicer people. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Sammy, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I would be just a minute. Oh, excuse me. Wait, you're Sammy, aren't you? My name is Bo, Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sorry, Bo. Policeman told me you saw what happened to my daddy. Thought you weren't gonna show. I put 2 and 2 together. I know you're related to the boss. The other guys are all riled up. taking action. If they saw me out here with you, they'd think I was some kind of scab. We did also incite the miners to potentially strike, which, you know, good for them. But none of them will listen to me, especially now. They've all got bigger things to worry about than a single missing miner. I haven't forgotten about him, though. Anything you want to know, just ask. And this is the spot. It's a public garden I've been putting together. I don't remember this. It was just an empty lot when I first moved here, but Winnie said it was okay for me to mess with it. So when I'm stuck in a rut with work or music, I come here and dig around in the dirt, just organizing the chaos for a little while. We didn't hang out with Avery, we hung out with Tabitha. This feels like a glitch, but I don't think we came here to talk about my side projects. I've been hearing some absolutely wild stuff about last night. I mean, I don't know how much you overheard in the diner, but it seems like the miners are planning a strike. Yeah, we hung out with Tabitha, not Avery. He's a dog. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. Yeah, very weird. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Whoever he is, you can feel his desperation make a good first impression. We didn't have such street smarts in this playthrough either. Street smarts is our other playthrough. Maybe we did. Maybe they're different things. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Sammy? Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. If you'd ever like to discuss your beliefs, my door is always open. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to a studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Okay, we did have street smarts. Okay. Mom is so scary. Oh, right. I think it was like book smarts or something that we had in the newer playthrough. I don't remember what all the options were. She can be a little intense. Kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately and haven't been cleaning much. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. So, we were maybe talking about watching a movie sometime this week? Well, Sammy is still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in this basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. Okay, yeah, I was bookmarked. Okay. I'm an adult, for God's sake. Can't believe I have to ask permission from my mom just to have my friends over. He stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix. Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Hey, we're just in time. Rosalina's situated in the back room. Alexis is going to keep her company while we hopefully get this all sorted out. Hey, hope I'm not too late. Oh yeah, Avery came along with us last time. But didn't in the most recent replay. Because we didn't go talk to Avery and invite them. Have I missed any creepy paranormal stuff? Which means we missed, in the most recent playthrough, we missed the, like, locked door part. Because I think that's where Avery was. Look at Gretchen's face down here. Oscar and Kanika startle as the door swings open. Also, Alexis wasn't there. Yeah. Hold it. You're not taking my cousin along on any more of your little hijinks without me. Whoa. This is swear I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained in reddish brown. Yeah, there's like 2 extra people here that weren't here in our playthrough. Or most recent playthrough. I'm going for it. Wait, do you hear music? Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadow rises to attention. Stella? There you are. I would have found you sooner, but the resonant clearly doesn't want me. It doesn't seem to have the same issue with these miserable little parasites. Gross. Bottom feeders always manage to slip through the cracks, don't they? The sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. One of you must forfeit, it doesn't matter which. Bullshit! I hope I didn't come too late. It wants something, doesn't it? And I think you know which of you should volunteer. You must be joking! Take a step towards the light. Sybil is right here. Please don't do this. Wordlessly step into the spotlight. I'm so sorry, Sammy. I don't think I can talk right now. I'll call you, okay? She hurries off down the road. Before I go, Sybil places a hand on your arm, holding you back for a moment. I'm sure you have questions after everything you saw tonight, and about what's happened to you. But let's not get into it here. Hi, Oliver. We're just running through the recap. I think everyone could use a little rest and relaxation right now, yourself included. If you swing by the tea room sometime tomorrow, say early afternoon, you and I can have a little chat. I'll see you then, Sammy. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. has been put to rest at the expense of unknown years of your life. The specter of the night's events will linger over you for every day you have left, a grim reminder of the price you willingly paid for the crimes of a family you never met. Maybe it'll be easier in the morning. Maybe your joints will ache just a little less than they do now. Maybe you can still right the capsized ship of your now broken life. Or maybe things will only get worse from here. Wake up! Oh, yeah, I forgot how heavy we left it. Definitely feel slightly more hopeful in our most recent playthrough than this one, but you open your eyes. It's a new day, and you feel like shit. You were hoping some of your strength would return to you after a good night's sleep, but you just feel just as drained as when you dug yourself out of that shallow grave. Your limbs are heavy, and your heart struggles to keep up with your movements. You feel like you lost something that was important to you. Did what had to be done. I don't care what happens to me. I made the right decision, and I'll do it again. This is great. I can't wait to finally be dead. Life goes on. What happened yesterday happened yesterday. Today's another day. I'm gonna stick with that. Life goes on, but for how much longer will your life go on? An involuntary shudder runs down your spine. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Hey, just wanted to check in. Hope you're doing okay. Also, wanted to ask if you've heard from Stella. You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Oh no, I'm really nervous because, Wayne threatened her. I'm gonna call. Dial Stella. Hey, what's up? Just kidding. I'm not able to come to the phone right now. This is actually a recording of my voice. It isn't really me. Technology, huh? God, those were like the common ringtone or like voicemail message like 15, 20 years ago, Stella. Anyway, leave a message. Or don't. I never check this thing. The mailbox is full and can't accept messages at this time. Stella! I'm kind of worried after you ran off last night. Text me as soon as you check. That Wayne guy didn't come after you, did he? I'm gonna say I'm worried about you. Text me as soon as you get the chance. You wait for a few silent minutes. Your message sits undelivered. Undelivered? Or unread? God, what if she's trouble? What if she's hurt or dead? Maybe she's just sleeping in. Remind how Stella is. How are you doing? What if Wayne got her? Does Stella disappear like this sometimes? I'm sure they just chose the wrong word. Kinda? But with everything going on, I don't feel comfortable letting her run off on her own. We should look for her, right? Come to town, we should stick together. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. Check the closet. She has definitely moved. I'm pretty sure this is not how she was. Maybe I'm wrong. Yep, there's no denying it. The doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. But your long-dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. Don't like that! Something to mull over for the rest of the day. I was waiting for the doll to move. Visit Dustin. Hi, Dustin. You open the drawers. They both have bread now. A bread. They both have a bread now.
Human is back. Smell old now. Maybe changed mind about eating us. Could be the end of Dustin and Dustin Mom.
I would never eat you. I love you.
Dustin Mom know better than to trust. When push come to shove, survival more important than friendship. Dustin Mom spent too much time outside. It's different inside. There are enough bread for everyone here. No need to eat friends. Dustin still have childhood innocence. Hope Dustin get to keep that innocence forever.
I love it. I guess your glass house still has that squatter?
Tried to reclaim glass house last night, but asshole squatter too big and strong. Dustin Mom stand no chance. Might have to live in Dustin house forever. Human big and strong too. Probably more big and strong than asshole squatter. You fight? Give Dustin Mom glass house back?
Anything for you, Dustin? Fight someone or fight something? I'll see what I can do. No way, I'm not brave enough to just get into a fight with some creepy squatter. I don't care how rustically charming you are. Busy, Dustin. I'm not accepting a quest from a possum. I definitely am accepting it. Anything for you, Dustin?
Squatter have sharp things on head. Human be careful. But Dustin Mom would be eternally grateful to human. Dustin too.
I should get going.
Okay.
I love them so much. The brightest spot in this game. Can you imagine if we played this game and didn't pick Talk to Animals? Life would be so empty. What is that? Is that just the end of the curtain rod? Take a shower. Might as well take a shower before starting the rest of your day. We did climb out of a grave last night. Step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. Hot water soothes your aching joints. Despite the state of the bathroom, the shower is a good place. That's how I feel about most hot showers. As it rinses your body clean, you think about the door in the clinic. You're still drawn to it even now. You'll be going back there today. You're sure of it. You've got the specter of an early death that now hangs over you. Think about the afterlife. It's undeniably real at this point. What you've seen is terrifying. Think about Stella running off last night. Hopefully she's just sleeping in. Think about Rosalina's shattered leg and the image of a foot, but that Duke and the image, no! Script furiously trying to script the memories of your skin from your skin as if they're part of the dirt that coats you. Think about Wayne and whether you're ever truly alone. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Head downstairs. Time to face your cousin. Find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety. They're striking. This week of all weeks. As if I didn't have enough on my plate already. Sorry, not sorry? Yeah, this is the effect from us aging. There's an almost cool confidence in the way your cousin talks about the strike. They're in disarray. You seem confident about the strike. What have you got planned? If I'm being honest, I'd rather you didn't know. Probably fair. I'm the one that incited it. You've been lucky enough not to get sucked into the family business. You should keep it that way for me. So that's why the Dishlings are here. They were predicting the strike. No. Strike is meant to be inconvenient, so you give them what they want out of it, right? Do you know what the strikers even want? I haven't seen a list of demands. I'm sure it's just the usual. I promise you that if any of them were in my shoes for a month, they'd be singing a different tune. Just give them what they want out of it. It's the right thing to do. I don't know what they want yet, but I can assure whatever it is, I probably can't give it to them. Not now. I'm barely keeping things afloat right now. It's been that way for a while. I want to be able to give people more time off. I want to be able to give them raises. I just need more time to fix things before I can afford to do that. Okay. Probably should have seen this coming. Who's to say I didn't? It wasn't ever really a question of if, more of a question of when. Forgive me if I didn't expect them to walk out a few days before my mother's funeral. Couldn't even wait until her land was in the ground. So that's why the ditchlings are here. They're predicting the strike. Those doughy things we saw in the library yesterday. Look, I get it. There's weird stuff happening right now, but let's not muddy something as mundane as a strike with the supernatural. They are two entirely different things. Want me to infiltrate the strike? Even if they didn't already know you're my cousin, that seems like a great way to throw gasoline on a fire. Exactly. I'm glad she's like, no. This is my problem fixed. Your only job is to stay safe until the funeral is over. I'm not gonna say it usually. I am pro-union. Like, there's no but. I am pro-union. So ghosts are real. I still can't get over that. I can. What does that actually change about anything? You're a Scarlet. You were probably going to die young anyways, and I still have a mind. God, I love Tabitha so much. This is why I'm friends with her in this run. Sorry about last night. We should have left. Yeah, we should have. Have you heard anything from Stella? I can't get a hold of her. No, but that's not exactly newsworthy. I'm sure she's just processing what happened last night. We weren't the only ones who were traumatized. If the mine's in trouble, you should just sell it. Sell the estate. Get out while you still can. Tabitha bristles. I'm not giving up like that. This is the Scarlet Mine. I'm not just going to cash out on our family's legacy. I'm bringing the mine back to life one way or another. You should probably get going, right? Yeah. I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe. No more hijinks. The thing is, proof that Tabitha is also definitely worn out, because, like, her face is not as, like, scrunched up, grumpy as she was in previous episodes. But let me know if you get in trouble, okay? Aww. Tabitha slips past you, her heavy boots thudding down the hall as she marches away to face her employees. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Dr. Frou-Frou! You walk over to the cat. Oh, c'est toi. Qu'est-ce que tu veux maintenant? Wait, there is something's different about you. Have the years finally got up to you? Yes. For those of you that don't speak French, Frou was like, oh, it's you. What do you want now? I made a deal with a ghost, so I'm old now. Every day that we open our eyes, we are making a deal with life. All of us are stones on the shore, weathered a little more each day by the relentless tides of time. Damn, Frou-Frou getting deep there. We will all be ground to dust by an uncaring universe, but that is the beauty of life. Missed you last night, Frou-Frou. That makes one of us. Will you ever let me pet you? It has been known to happen. Perhaps one day, when you have earned the right. But don't count on it, disgusting human. That is definitely progress. Do you know anything about the stone carvings scattered around town? Oh, thanks for not attacking the opossums who live in my drawer. They're my friends, and if anything bad ever happened to them, there would be hell to pay. Of course you would consider those rats to be your friends. I will not dirty my claws with their diseased flesh. Nod respectfully to Frou-Frou. You know anything about the stone carvings scattered around town? I am not here to be your commentator, jeune detective. Je suis un chat. I am here to watch you flail about in the darkness. I'm not here to be your, how do you say, dog detective. I am a cat. I am not here to provide answers to whatever mysteries confound your feeble American mind. Not respectfully to Frou-Frou. She scoffs, her tail twitching with annoyance, but you can sense she's less annoyed than she usually is. Maybe she's getting used to you. Bye, Frou-Frou. Good talk. She scoffs as you turn away. She didn't try to scratch me today. Feel up with a quick PB&J. It's so sparkly. Stella's MIA, who knows when you'll get a chance to eat. And who knows just how much your new affliction will affect your appetite. You make yourself a PB&J in anticipation for the long day ahead of you. That was my exact, like, let's have a PB&J because I might run out of energy quicker. And that's that. Investigate the garden! Whatever kicked out Dustin's mom is in the garden right now. You better look into it before you head into town. Let's go. I've been wanting to do this for ages. The air is chilly today. The overcast sky hanging oppressively over the weed-choked flower beds. No, it's not too cold. We're fine. Investigate the greenhouse. Start carefully picking your way through the underbrush. Doesn't take much effort to find a path. Cuttings of prickly raspberry bushes and tangled vines litter the ground around the greenhouse. A glass house, one could say. You step towards the door. Done. Saving. Saving! There's a goat! That was a goat! There's a goat in there? It's sealed shut by a lock, and you catch a brief glimpse of a horned shadow through the ancient clouded glass. Try to talk to whatsoever behind the door. What's your name, little guy? Goat. What are you doing in the greenhouse? Human put me here. Can't complain. Pretty sweet digs, honestly. Stays nice and warm. There's plenty of eats, too. Did that human have a brown coat and big boots? Coat like what? Fur? Nah, not brown. Yellow fur. Just on top, like all you humans. Avery? Did Avery put the goat in the greenhouse? Don't know what boots are. Can't help you there. Where did you come from? Farm. Used to live with other guys like me. Kinda miss them, but not that much. Don't gotta share anymore. Pick the lock. When are people going to learn that a mere lock can't keep you contained? You pop it open with ease. Achievement unlocked. Dustin quest. Yes. You are a very pretty goat, but yeah, a warm barnyard smell floods through your senses as you stare down at the goat within. It stares back at you from its place on the tiled floor, surrounded by dried herbs. What are you eating? Plant. Tastes good. Get a new bag every day, all I can eat. That don't mean you can take any, though. I'll beat you up. My plant. You're free. Go on, prance off into the wilderness. No one keep you. Untie the goat. There is a goat. The goat is the squatter in the greenhouse. And we asked him basically if it was Wayne that put him in here. And he was like, no, not a brown coat, a yellow one with fur just on top. Which I'm pretty sure is Avery's coat. So I'm really confused if Avery put the goat in here. You unclip the rope tying the goat to the greenhouse. And somebody keeps coming back to feed it each day, so... Hey, what do you think you're doing? That's my rope. Put it back. You're free. Go on. Prance off into the wilderness. No one can keep you here any longer. Who said I want to leave? These are some sweet digs. I ain't giving up for nothing. You hear me? I'll leave it to you then. I'm not retying you. Sure, suit yourself. More space for me. And close the door on the way out, will ya? It's nippy out there. Leave it open. Decided to leave the door open as you head back inside. Dick! Yep. Head back to the estate. I don't like you. I am on Dustin's side in this. It's Dustin's mom's side. You investigated the garden. With Stella missing, it's best not to keep Kaneko waiting for much longer. Head to town. Who put the goat in the greenhouse? You head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. Oh gosh, they are out in the daytime now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 of them. Birds sound different today, muffled like your ears are full of cotton. The dull sun shines down on the surrounding wilderness, seeming to wash the colors from the world. But you're adjusting. Already your body is starting to accept the change that has come over it, to accept that this is how things will be from here on out. You can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line, a feeling that reminds you of your time in the woods with Stella. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. Yeah, see, Avery's got the yellow fur on the coat. To your surprise, you find a familiar face making its way up the path towards you. Hey, I was just coming up to see you. Hope you were able to get some sleep after everything that happened last night. They don't say anything about your appearance, but you can see them take you in, the light of the day revealing your new features clearly for the first time. You doing okay? I'm old now, my bones hurt. You know, aging like this isn't too bad. I'll manage just fine. If I regret what I did, I should have just left it there. Do it again in a heartbeat. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Alright, I'll talk about it. You know, aging like this isn't too bad. I'll manage just fine. The gray streak is pretty cool. Adds some sophistication to your look. That ghost was trying to punish you, but I think it wound up doing you a favor. You might have seen me, that's sweet. There's ditchlings everywhere now, even though it's daytime. How are you doing? Have you heard anything from yourself? Why can't I ask Avery about the goat? You don't have to put on a front. Last night was a lot. I get it. I appreciate the concern, but I'm alright. You're talking to an expert at vibing. I know most folks would probably be freaking out or having some kind of an existential crisis, but that's not how I deal with heavy stuff. Surprisingly enough, Avery is mostly telling the truth. They're fine. I mean, I'm not 100% chill today, I'll admit. I feel kind of bruised, both physically and spiritually, if that makes any sense. But that's just part of life, right? Nobody makes it to the end completely unscathed, and I'm glad my new emotional baggage comes from a ghost instead of some boring normal trauma. The supernatural angle takes the edge off a little bit. Yeah, I get that. There's ditchlings everywhere now, even though it's daytime. Avery turns to survey the tree line. I noticed a few on my way up. They're kind of funny now that I'm getting a good look at them, with their scrunched up little Sharpay faces. So, should I be worried about these things? I know they're a bad omen or something, but like, are they dangerous? They're not gonna eat me if I take a wrong turn, right? No, but you might get some eggs laid in your skin. I don't know, they might, not if you eat them first. I'd rather not find out. Does anyone in town have a flamethrower? We're gonna go, no, but you might get some eggs laid in your skin. Oh, is that all they do? That doesn't sound too bad. I think you can survive a parasitic larva or two. Just glad being eaten alive isn't on the table. I mean, getting a parasite like that is getting a parasite like that really any different than being eaten alive? They're still eating you, just more slowly and from the inside. Sure, I get where you're coming from, but that's a pretty big difference. If a mountain lion gets me, that's just kind of just it, you know? Sure, the wonders of modern medicine would be able to yank a couple of eggs out of me. Heck, maybe I'd even be able to let the eggs hatch instead of just having them removed. It'd be sad to kill the babies, but at the end of the day, if it's me or them, I gotta go with self-preservation. This is a weird conversation. Sounds like you enjoyed the experience. Is that terrible to say? It would be kind of neat to grow a weird little guy. I'd much rather be eaten. I get that. Being eaten sounds really bad. It's a weird thing to say. I was wondering when you'd finally say something really weird. I knew you seemed too normal to... I was wondering when you'd finally say something really weird. I knew you seemed too normal to live here. Normal's boring. Hope that's not a deal breaker for our little friendship. Not flirting with Avery. How are you doing today? Have you heard anything from Stella? I haven't heard from her, though we don't text much, and I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for an early breakfast or anything. But if you haven't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her like that last night was awful. She's usually so unflappable. How are you doing today? Are you doing okay after last night? Great. Something like possession, I kind of feel like there are more upsides than downsides. What? There aren't a lot of people out there who can say they've been through something like that. It's a pretty cool badge of honor as far as I'm concerned. Avery is so weird. Am I the only one that's deeply confused and concerned by Avery right now? Nick and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Wanna come? Absolutely. I told Winnie I'd be coming in late today, so I've got time. I don't know how much time, though. From what I saw this morning, the diner is hopping. It's absolutely packed with miners. Strike, strike, strike! I must be using it as a home base for the strike. Oh, and by the way, there's a strike going on. I'm sure you already know that, though. I have to imagine Tabitha would have told you this morning. Let's head back to town. Yeah, good idea. You and Avery start back down the paths of town. Why can't I ask Avery about the goat? Clearly the goat was describing Avery. Being awfully nonchalant about everything. Which makes me feel like they are really into supernatural stuff, and maybe they got the goat for, like, sacrifice reasons. It isn't long until you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Oh my god, Kanika, that top is amazing! Oh, girl, tell me where you got that so I can go buy it. You look like you're about as busty as I am. Probably fit. Sammy, you made it. And you picked up an Avery along the way. Hope you're both doing okay, like, emotionally. Yeah, I'm not too bad. That's good. I feel like I got crushed by a steamroller or something. Joints all out of whack, totally exhausted, and super foggy. Mom has been insisting I caught a cold, and I wasn't buying it. But as of this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, even considering the ridiculously stressful week we've all had. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from looking for Stella. I don't see any ditchlings in town, at least. Someone manning the general store while we go looking for Stella? Mom and Miles can deal with for another day while we go looking for Stella. This is important. Not that the store isn't, but if something happened to her and I was spending my time minding the register, I don't think I could live with that. Honestly, also, this is a small enough town. I feel like you could probably just, like, leave a box on the counter for people to put their own money into, and people would probably be decently trustworthy. Or you could just close for the day. Like, people could survive without the store for a single day. I'm kind of surprised you reached out to me after all the issues between you and Tabitha. You sacrificed years of your life to exorcise a ghost for people you hadn't met until, what, 2 days ago? That kind of outweighs whatever ongoing feud I have with your cousin. And I'm not going out there alone, because the last thing I want is to go missing while looking for someone who went missing. We do everything in groups from now on. Smart. People shouldn't be judged by their family anyways. Whatever people may think of your cousin, it has nothing to do with you. I like her. Do you still think there could be a rational explanation for all of this? Kanika sighs heavily. Rational? Sure. Rooted in reality that until a few days ago I thought was devoid of all magic and supernatural shit? Nope. Ghosts are real. They can suck you into illusory dimensions and puppet your body like a fleshy marionette. Next thing you know, we'll find out there's a secret society of warlocks running around the country, or that angels are real. You gotta admit, it's kind of thrilling, isn't it? Anything could be possible. Who knows what the new day holds for all of us? It would be a little more thrilling if it weren't terrifying. The magic stuff we found out so far just wants to hurt us. We need a magical being that's on our side. Where are the magical girls when you need them? Yes, Kanika! Oh, I guess we already have an animal whisperer, don't we? That's pretty magical. Wait, you can talk to animals? For real? When were you gonna tell me? Wow, I'm gonna need to tell me what every animal you need to say. This is so cool. That would be my reaction if I found out someone could talk to animals. I'd be like, every time we pass a dog, what did they say about me? You, really took that in stride, didn't you? Yet fucking nothing can flap Avery, apparently. I take everything in stride. There's no better way to live. Kanika, your mom's totally a witch, right? Maybe she's the magical woman. I'm gonna go. Speaking of magic, I'm supposed to meet your mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. Maybe one of us will discover our magical potential soon. That would be neat. I think there's a rational explanation. You know, aliens. So got my hopes up this all turns out to be someone in a mask trying to scare us out of town. Speaking of magic, I'm supposed to see your mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told all of us last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune. After last night, I wouldn't doubt that she actually could. Your mom's always had a bit of that Glinda vibe going for her. Yeah, maybe I should stop making fun of her whole new age mystic thing. What's happened in the past couple of days? Ugh, I need to take a page out of Stella's book and just block this shit out. I need to focus. Can't keep having all these existential crazies. There'll be plenty of time for tea after we found Stella. It's no doubt I'm worried about Stella, and it doesn't feel right to be doing anything that isn't actively looking for her. We're not gonna say the second one. That's really mean. She's probably okay, just dealing with complicated emotions. Let's not forget that Wayne threatened her last night. Oh, yeah, let's not forget that Wayne threatened her last night. You don't think he actually followed through on that, do you? I'm trying to not think about it. Does anyone know what happened to that guy? Some kind of accident or something? No one's told me! Mom says he's sick, and I don't doubt that he is, but with all the weird magic stuff going on, I'm starting to wonder if it's a normal illness or something else. Okay, let's get started. I don't want to waste another minute. Where to first? Stella's house, right? Good place to start. Maybe she just slept in. That's what I'm hoping. I would have gone already, but I was kind of nervous about doing anything by myself today. Just in case I ran into yet another horror from beyond the veil or whatever. Like, logically, you'd stop at Stella's house first, because she has slept in, like, yesterday. Or make your way towards Stella's house. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. Oh, no! I don't like that! It creaks open. This doesn't look like a break-in. It looks like somebody left the door open. Stella or someone else was in a hurry when they left. She's dead. Stella died. It's all my fault. I'm not from around here. Is it normal for people to leave their doors open? I've left my patio door open on occasion, usually when I'm home, but I've had squirrels take that as an invitation one too many times and bust in to take a few bites out of my plants. So even I keep my doors closed. It's bad enough that they go after everything in the community garden, but to come into my house and help themselves to my precious leafy babies. Squirrels of Scarlet Hollow are my only true enemies. Avery gives me strong TJ vibes right there. And Stella would definitely know better than to leave her door wide open like this, especially considering the ditchling situation. Might as well invite ourselves in, right? Yeah, we should go in there. I'm not going to the cops. The cops are useless in the fucking town. Cool. I'll be brave and go first. Avery casually steps over the threshold into Stella's house. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. Doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything. Unless it happened in another room, or maybe someone or something caught her off guard. You didn't have to add that last part. Going to forget you said that, and just be thankful that this doesn't look like a crime scene. Investigate the kitchen. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple cabinets are hanging open. A loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. Yeah, she usually cleans better. Is Stella's kitchen normally this messy? I wouldn't call this messy. It's a little messy. If this is a little messy, I don't know what you'd call my room. I wasn't judging. There's nothing wrong with a little mess. Or a lot of mess. We're getting off track. Stella's house has always felt a little sterile to me. This feels a little too lived in, if that makes sense. Well, maybe that's just because I've only ever been here when she was already expecting me. Maybe this is just a rare peek behind the curtain at the real Stella. The real Stella should call her friends and let them know she's okay. Investigate Stella's room. Did she leave her phone behind? That would be my worry. I don't know what that is. I like her little Mothman plushie. Oh my god, I want it. That's so cute. Old Lassie dog treats. I like her conspiracy board. Oh, hello. Stella, you got some pinups on your wall? Oh, she got a little Gretchen plushie. Make her way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any sign of violence. I'd better not hear a single comment about this room being messy. I wasn't gonna say anything. Check her computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? I would absolutely snoop on her computer because chances are she was researching something. We already broke into her house, right? For all we know, there could be some sort of clue on there. Like a note detailing exactly where she is. We didn't break into her house. The door was left wide open. Well, maybe the computer was left open too. If Stella didn't want us to snoop. She shouldn't have gone missing. I don't make the rules. What if she's been gossiping about us to her online friends? Look, I know it's an invasion of privacy, but we've got to do whatever we can to find her. Sure, snoop away, but I'm not going to take part in this. Just be over here, standing in the corner of the room, not looking over your shoulder. Let me know if you find anything. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display. Whoa, how do we find anything in here? You don't! Come on, let's go! For something interesting. Scan through folders and file names on Stella's desktop, looking for something, anything that seems like it might be interesting. One folder catches your eye. Boring tax stuff. Yeah, that's always where people hide stuff. You're no fool. You've seen this folder before. You have this folder on your own computer. I have, like, tax documents on my computer, but they're not in a file labeled boring tax stuff. Boring tax stuff never contains boring tax stuff. For that matter, it never contains anything related to taxes, and its contents are never boring. Open the folder. Aww. You open the folder. You're surprised to find it contains a carefully mapped out diagram of the Scarlet Hollow mines, including holes in the fence and areas with low visibility. Interesting. There's also a handful of old photos of Stella and Tabitha. Look at Tabitha's actually smiling. Aww. There's also a handful of old photos of Stella and Tabitha together as teenagers. Tabitha wears an uncharacteristic grin, an authentic, joyful smile, and Stella's eyes are somehow brighter, less tired. Well, we do know now from our more recent playthrough that they were together. Deadpool? I don't know. I love that Stella has a sticky note just doing the S. Both of them seem to be living in a happier time. Okay, I take it back. This is way too personal. I'll just join Kanika in the corner while you wrap things up. Check her open tabs. It'll take you all day to count the number of open tabs in Stella's browser. Listen, sometimes I'm like that too. Don't judge me, game. So numerous are her tabs that you can't see a single icon. A sea of rounded, featureless triangles from Windows Edge to Windows Edge. Her most recent tab open is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, a forum for cryptozoology enthusiasts. The post in question is titled "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow." Hidden Appalachia. Hey everyone, I was out chasing a skunk ape sighting the other day, and I found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them before. Anyone have any good leads? Stella, you gotta start using tab groups. Listen. That takes planning. Camera isn't shaky enough. This is totally staged. Mothstan. Clean footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of except for your friend's mom? The only thing I'm seeing when I Google ditchlings is some city in England. Thought you were legit. Lucky stars. Guys, since when did high-quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Gary 2125479. Since every low-budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. Hidden Appalachia. I'm serious. I've got a ton of extra footage. Look at what they've been doing to the animals in town. They're apparently some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Mothstan? Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. We never would have guessed. Lucky stars. I believe you. Gary 2125479. Ugh, lucky you're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. Thread continues into the next day. Hidden Appalachia. Okay, okay, so one, this isn't an ARG. I would never. And two, you're not going to believe this, but we went into an abandoned mine last night and then to investigate things, and I'm pretty sure we found some Tommy knockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape. There's a link to an audio file titled Tommy Knockers Real.wab. Gary 2125479. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real. Bride of Bigfoot. 2 supernatural events happen on back-to-back nights? This is so fake. I can't believe I bought that into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it. Mothstan. YouTubers are always going to sell out to big indie horror. This is Kidnapped by Aliens all over again. Gary 2125479. Also, LOL doughy white things and now loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? Lucky Stars. Stop cyberbullying her. I'm gonna call the mods. Uncle Carl, locking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying and no self-promo. The thread ends. Check her search history. Check Stella's search history. She hasn't visited any websites since Tuesday night. If she came home after last night's incident, she didn't touch her browser. Her search history is almost entirely work-related. A furious series of queries for various monsters and cryptids that might fit the profile of ditchlings. That's that. Okay, I think we've seen enough. Thank God. Achievement unlocked, Hackerman. I love seeing someone's room before they've had a chance to clean it up for company. It's a neat little snapshot, you know? This sure looks like a room. Any thoughts? This sure looks like a room. Any thoughts? I think you about summed it up. This is definitely a room. Yeah, nothing much to comment on. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. Yeah, that's a pretty nice computer. I noticed that when we walked in. We could use a few more houseplants. I'll put together some trimmings after we found her. Focus, Avery. Aw, she still does those corkboard with string things. She loved putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyway. Okay, I don't think we're gonna find much else here. Let's move on. Achievement unlocked, still life. Okay, so maybe she came home last night. Maybe she didn't, but she's definitely missing. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I hope she would just be sleeping in. I can't believe she's actually missing. We'll find her. Where to next? We're not going to the cops. Fuck the cops. Let's go to the mines, check out the church. We should go check in on Oscar. He's smart. Maybe he'll know what to do. Hope nothing else happened after we all went home last night. They're so brave for sleeping in that house after everything that we went through. I'd rather sleep in the woods with the ditchlings than someplace that was that haunted. Mom said it's safe, and I'm inclined to believe her. Why would she lie? But how would she know that? Magic, probably. But there's only one way to find out. Let's go. Achievement unlocked, library card. I've got all these achievements. Morning light streams in through the library's large windows. In the bright daylight, the library is once again a place of comfort, all menace having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure. No ghost, thank God. I was not up for an encore. Yeah, it's gone, just like your mom said it would be. Can't help but overhear the murmurings of an intense conversation coming from the mayor's office. Or rather, the murmurings of an intense animal conversation. Investigate the conversation! Leave dog politics to the dogs. Start making your way upstairs toward the mayor's office. Hey, where are you going? Shh. Karika, shh. Small gang of dogs hold court in the mayor's office. Most of the dogs quietly watch from the sidelines, but two of them, a sheepdog and a basset hound, are in a heated conversation with Mayor Jimmy. Their tags read Scraps and Daisy. This one's Daisy, clearly. It sounds like you've all sorted this out. I don't see what you need me to do about any of it. Sorted? Things aren't sorted until this town is safe. Now, we may have got the beginnings of a militia forming, but there's plenty of pets out there who are still ill-informed about those things crawling out of the woods. A dog militia, huh? You're the mayor. They'll listen to you. Just tell them to stay inside until it's handled. Listen, Scraps, buddy, I hear you, but the last thing we need right now is an anarchy in the streets. It's no use. I told you he'd be bullheaded. He's always bullheaded. Always a sore loser, aren't we, Daisy? Things are fine. Nobody has to worry about a thing. The mayor pulls himself away from the conversation to acknowledge you. Oh, I remember you. You're that out-of-towner from yesterday, the speaker. The other dogs murmur amongst themselves for a moment, then turn to face you. I'm sorry you had to see this little display. Politics can get so messy. Good doggies. Are y'all some kind of dog militia? Did I hear that right? So you're the Scraps I've heard so much about. Many of you seen... Scraps is the one that Gretchen wanted to vote for, right? Have any of you seen or smelled Gretchen? She and her person are missing. Scraps, you don't think? Gretchen's person would never let that happen to her. Wherever she is, I'm sure she's safe from those things. A dog like her doesn't get to be that age without a watchful human at her side. Even if she's safe, I don't like the sound of this. See, Jimmy, this is the cost of inaction. Gretchen is a pillar of our community, and she's missing. What will it take for you to finally open your eyes and do something? If you wait until you're the last dog left in Scarlet Hollow, it'll be far too late to save yourself. Yes, I get it. You're all very upset. But what do you expect me to do about it? Shut down the town? What about economy? Do you even know what economy is, Jimmy? Or are you just throwing around fancy words you've heard the humans say? Of course I know what economy is. I know all about economyism. Oh, good, because I've never understood a lick of it when humans talk about economy. I just figured it was just a made-up word they yell at each other when they want to stop talking. So please, enlighten us. I'm not going to debase myself by playing a game of trivia. Not in front of the speaker. I thought so. To answer your question, we did catch a whiff right around here, and another near her house. Haven't picked up anything around town since then. Let's hope those creatures haven't gotten to her. Can you help us find her? You've got better noses for this sort of thing. We'll do our best. We didn't intend to make any more trips out into the woods, but if it's for Gretchen, we'll take that risk. She's a well-liked dog in these parts. Been around longer than any of us. It'd be a blow to the community for her to fall victim to those monstrosities. Are y'all some sort of dog militia? Did I hear that right? Yeah, suppose you could say that. When the town's illustrious leader abandons his kind, it's up to us common folk to band together. Daisy, please. I'm not abandoning anybody, dog or otherwise. You're all blowing this invasion story completely out of proportion. Everything is going to turn out just fine. If everything turns out just fine, it's because the rest of us protect those who need protected. So you're the Scraps I've heard so much about. The one and only. This here is Daisy, and we've got a few other concerned locals with us as well. Just making sure the cats and dogs of the holler are well cared for, considering recent events. There are more of those things in the woods every day, popping out of the innocent bodies of what used to be dogs like us. They're exaggerating, of course. Well, I've heard reports of creatures coming out of the woods. It's nothing the humans of this town can handle. It's no secret that Daisy and Scraps are my competitors, and it's just like them to jump at the first sign of trouble as an opportunity to run me out of office. Nobody's trying to run you out of anything. We're just trying to keep the critters of the town safe. How very noble of you. But that's exactly the line you'd feed the voters if you were trying to get rid of me. Gretchen really admires you, Scraps. Oh, she flatters me so. I'm nothing special, just another dog. All the more reason to go after her before it's too late. Don't be so modest, Scraps. You're the kind of a dog other dogs listen to. It's a damn shame the humans are all so charmed by that charlatan. I'm right here, Daisy. I'm well aware. You think you're so high and mighty, don't you? Just because you can sit and stay the best. As if obedience is the best quality in a leader. Good doggies. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Ah, yes, I am a rather good boy, aren't I? You call me good dog? Daisy, good dog? Daisy's tail wags excitedly before she regains her composure. I love this so much. Talking to animals in this game brings me so much joy. sorry. I just love to hear it. Mr. Mayor, you should listen to Daisy and Scraps on this one. There won't be an anarchy in the streets to worry about if every animal in town is taken by ditchlings. Some way everyone here can work together. Panic the streets would be bad for everyone, but we can't just not do anything about the ditchlings. I don't think there's much compromise in here. The mayor is either in or he's out, and it sounds to me like he's out. Told you this would be a waste of time, Scraps. And I should have listened to you. Let's go, shall we? Excellent. Office hours are officially over. Do close the door behind you. I'm overdue for my appointment with a nap. You and the dogs exit the mayor's office and close the door behind you. They quickly turn a corner and vanish from your line of sight. Don't they have to come down the stairs? You find Kanika and Avery waiting for you in the lobby. I took a peek in there. You just had a full-on conversation with those dogs. It is so weird when you do that. Weird or cool? I wish I could hear the other side of the conversation. It seems like there's a whole dog culture in this town I've been missing out on. Knowing dogs are capable of carrying a full conversation is going to make being a veterinarian really weird. You'll just have to hire Sammy as a translator. You'd be the best vet in the country with someone like that on your staff. No, seriously. That would work out very well for you. I guess Oscar must be in the back. I know that's where I'd be if I finally managed to unhaunt my house. I've always been surprised at how supervised this place is. Sometimes it feels like anyone could just walk in and do whatever they wanted. Avery! Like what? Steal books? I mean, they could, right? I'm not saying anyone would. I'm just saying that people in this town trust each other a lot. It's nice. Let's go find Oscar. You'll make your way back toward the annex. It feels strange to be back here in the light of day, as if the events from the previous evening were all just a terrible dream. This hallway really takes me back. It feels like it was only yesterday that we were last here, blissfully unaware that our entire lives were about to change forever. It was only yesterday. I know. Nika knocks on the door. Oh, good morning. It's good to see all of you. Sammy takes in the sight of you standing in the bright corridor. You could hear his guilt in the way he said your name, and you can see it in his eyes now. Hope you're doing well. Please, come on in. Everybody needs to stop feeling guilty about me. I chose the... Oh, the doctor's here. You're doing really great, Rosalina. Not a lot of kids your age can take shots that well. You're being so brave. She'll get drugged out of her mind. You don't have to talk to me like I'm 5. But you are brave. You really are, Rosalina. Right, time to break into her house. You're like so badass. Alexis is right. This is more than most people have to deal with in their whole lives. And here you are taking it like a champ. Dr. Kelly's kind demeanor vanishes as she turns and glares at you. Oh, I see we have visitors. Her glare vanishes as she takes in your new visage. Her features soften into a look of shock and concern. Mr. Gutierrez told me what happened last night, and I must admit I found it hard to believe. But your face... It definitely looks like you had yours stolen from you, whatever that means. It's concerning. I'd like to give you a physical. Yes. Excuse to come into your house. So wait, you just believe a ghost stole years of my life? Did you just say you were interested in my body? Should we go someplace private? Let's not flirt with the Why are we... Why are there like multiple flirt options with the doctor? She's terrifying. Anything you say, doctor. Shall we go somewhere more private? Oh, okay, yes, please. Thank God I need someone to fix me. No offense, Doc, but I don't think science is capable of fixing ghost magic. I don't have insurance. I don't think you're in network. So you can poison me? No, thank you. No, this is my punishment for Meemaw's sins. I do not deserve medical attention. So wait, you just believe a ghost stole years of my life? Sure, there's plenty of evidence that something happened to you right in front of me. So are you going to get your physical? I'm not going to flirt with her because I don't think you're in network. Dr. Kelly sighs. That's fine. I'll do it pro bono. It can't be good that your appearance changed so dramatically in the few hours since I last saw you, and I'd rather you get this checked out sooner rather than later. Aw, that's actually really nice. Come by the clinic when you can. Thanks. Excuse to come to your house, which I was gonna do anyway. Her examination finished, Dr. Kelly returns to Rosalina's side. How's Rosalina, Doc? No, I'm gonna ask Rosalina how she's doing. How you doing, Rosalina? Tired. My leg hurts. A lot. But the medicine is helping. It's not so bad now. She seriously looks stoned out of her fucking mind. Plus, I got to lie down in an actual bed last night, and you have no idea how good that felt. Thanks, Sammy. Can't believe you got any sleep last night after all that. Yeah, Pixel's super comfy. Ghost stuff. I just sat on the couch with all the lights on. I don't think I slept at all. I really needed some rest after, you know, the hospital and my foot. Your body desperately trying to get you to rest. All that activity yesterday was pretty brutal on your injury. It's never going to stop hurting if you keep pushing yourself. She's really good with kids. So, what are you not gonna do today?
anything?
That's right. You're staying right here. No walking around, no investigating haunted houses.
Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I should have been better at stopping her.
I take full responsibility as her father. I should have.
No need for anyone to step in to take blame for anything.
It's the hospital's fault for sending her home at all. It's gross negligence if you ask me. Like, seriously, the way her face softens when she's talking to the kids.
But give it time, then you can do all the activities you want, right, Rosalina?
Why does everyone seem so chill? Shouldn't you all be traumatized? As Reese, have you seen Stella last night? Or Dr. Cowley about the stone carvings and what you felt in the clinic? You guys think Charlie didn't come back for an encore? Not as far as I know. I slept in Rosalina's room, and I made sure to put some heavy objects on top of the hatch just to give myself a little extra peace of mind. Thanks to you, I didn't see or hear anything all night. I think we're in the clear.
I didn't see anything either. But even if something did happen, I wouldn't know. I was asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. I'm too tired to worry about ghosts anymore, to be honest.
Losing a limb will do that, especially if you decide to trot around the next day like nothing happened.
I would have been fine if it weren't for Charlie.
Good thing he's gone then, and let's hope he stays gone. I love Oscar's outfit. Why does everyone seem so chill? Shouldn't you all be traumatized? Who says I'm not traumatized? Just because I'm not in a gibbering heap doesn't mean I haven't been mentally scarred beyond my comprehension. I know I should be freaking out, but what can I say? Last night was fun. So I'm just going with the flow, seeing where this adventure takes me. Fun. Speak for yourself. I feel like the only reason I'm not in a total mental shutdown right now is that the crisis hasn't really stopped. The week started with a man dying, and it's somehow all been downhill from there. So yeah, I'm putting off the inevitable breakdown until I know things are done escalating.
I don't think it's sunk in for me yet. I'll deal with whatever random trauma I'm picking up now in therapy when I'm 30. That's what grown-ups do, right?
God damn, Rosalina, calm me down. Thanks. How's Reese? He's fine. Had a rough night, but he'll recover. He's used to this sort of thing. He just needs a couple of days to get back on his feet. That means no more excitement, not even a movie. Sorry to hear that, Dr. Kelly.
I want to see no Shinochi Death Blood. I was promised chilling Japanese found footage or...
You need to get your son some therapy. I don't think he's okay. But what if I wanted to hang out with him again? He's so cool. I'd like to hear this from him, not filtered through you. Talk about him like he's a child. I will respect this boundary and not bother either of you anymore.
The game just really wants me to flirt with Dr. Kelly.
Okay, but what if I want to hang out with you? Talk about him like he's a child. When you're a parent, it doesn't matter how old your kid is. They're always a child to you, especially when they need to be taken care of. How many of you seen Stella since last night? Not since dinner. She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you. Started to freak out a little. I really care about her and she's just gone. Nope, we have no clue where she's gone. That's not good. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I felt terrible. I should have done a better job warning her, right? Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you were gonna be able to stop her. There's no way you could have known how she would react when she found out. I don't even think she knew how she'd react. Besides, you didn't know how bad it was gonna get. You can't blame yourself for everything, man. I know you probably feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everyone around you is okay, but sometimes it's just not gonna be possible. You're only one guy. That's what Rosalina's always saying. I suppose I do apologize more than I should. Yes, you do, sir.
You really do.
I'm actually gonna warn her about the stone carvings, because she does seem receptive. We found something in Oscar's house last night. Stone carving that gave me and Tabitha a vision about what had happened there. There was one in the mines the other night, too. Both of them had a sort of pull on me. Whatever they are, there's something like them in your clinic. I felt it last night. You can feel Dr. Kelly's demeanor shift. She's grown quiet, her gaze piercing and analytical. Something awful is going to happen at the clinic, just like something awful happened at Oscar's house in the mines. If you're noticing anything weird at the clinic? Would you mind if we looked into it? I'm sure it's nothing, but I thought you might want to know. Never mind, it's probably nothing. But I think you already know something about all that. About what? Some weird feeling you got? Look, after what I've heard from last night, I'm willing to believe there is something going on in Scarlet Hollow. But trust me, there is nothing strange about the clinic. Reese and I will be fine. But on the off chance that you're wrong and something does happen, aren't you worried about Reese? Dinner was too much for him. I can't imagine how rough it would be if he was hurt or possessed. Don't tell me how to care for my son. We have a system. He'll be fine. Ooh. Do I say this really mean line blatantly in front of her, or do I remain silent? What do you think? I feel like accusing her isn't going to get us anywhere. But also being spicy is just lots of fun. You know what we could do? We could save, say it, and then reload. Because we're allowed to. Just because I want to be spicy. I want to see what happens. So, Dr. Kelly, are you going to start poisoning her now too? Dr. Kelly's glare flashes into a white-hot rage. Is there a problem, Sammy? No problem, Mr. Gutierrez. She's just unbelievably rude. Seems to have lots of opinions about my son's treatment regimen. We're done here anyway. Goodbye, Rosalina. Make sure you stay put and keep Pixel company, okay? Yeah, we're gonna... That was fun, but I feel like that's just gonna bite us in the ass later. We got to say it, and now we can take it back. You remain silent. So, you've got your med, you've got your nest of pillows, a helpful friend by your side, and a cat to keep you company. Seems like you're all set. Make sure you do a whole lot of nothing today. I will. Bye, Dr. Kelly. Yes, thanks again for coming down to see us, Joan. Joan Kelly, what a name. Not a problem. I'd much rather she stay put than have to get in and out of cars. I'll call later today to see how things are going. Hope the rest of the week is less eventful for the both of you. Goodbye, Rosalina. Make sure you stay put and keep Pixel company, okay? Don't worry, Doc. Don't worry, Doc. I keep her warm. I'm helping. Dr. Kelly turns towards you again, her usual glare absent. And I hope you'll take me up on my offer, Sammy. I'm concerned about you. I don't know if she would have done that if we hadn't reloaded and not said it. And then she pushes past you to leave Oscar's house. We'll let you kids have some space. Alexis, why don't you figure out a restful activity for you and Rosalina? Will do, Mr. Gutierrez. I brought some video games and puzzles from my house, and some movies too. Whatever you want to do, Rosalina. Probably not, yeah. We got to be spicy, but then we can take it back. Like, no, I didn't actually say that. I just imagined it in my head. Oscar ushers you down back to the library. I do think, I don't think she's handling it well, but I do think she is earnestly trying to take care of her kid. I made comments about it feels very Munchausen by proxy, but I think it's a red herring. What's up? Is everything okay? Yes, everything's fine. Or at least much better than yesterday. I can't thank you enough, Sammy. I'd like to be as helpful as I can from here on out. Now that our little situation is dealt with, I finally have time to dig into the town archives. Our house was haunted because someone was murdered there. The mine collapse the other night was the site of a mass grave. With enough research, maybe we'll be able to get a step ahead of the next crisis. Maybe we can actually preempt it. That is, assuming there is going to be a next crisis. Something tells me we aren't in the clear yet. No, it's only what? Wednesday? Thursday? What is today? It's Monday when we came into town, chapter 1. Chapter 2 is Tuesday, chapter 3 was Monday. Okay, so it's Thursday. It's only Thursday. We're barely halfway through the week. We should compare notes. Not that I have any to start with, but if you know anything that might narrow down my research, it could save me a lot of time. Don't think we actually know much more than you do, but we've got some hunches. I can't help but feel like there must have been some inciting event, since everything started to get weird seemingly overnight. Would that inciting event What that inciting event was or where to start looking for, I have no idea, but it's something to keep in mind. Avery stares at you. I mean, it's obvious, right? Things only started happening once Sammy got here. Nika shoots Avery a glare. No, we are not throwing Sammy under the bus. What? Nothing wrong with being a magical catalyst. Sure, there's probably nothing wrong with someone being a magical catalyst, but there's definitely something wrong with saying someone's a magical catalyst. If people get the wrong idea, we're only a couple of steps away from the whole town deciding to shaw her. Nobody's going to drag Sammy into a wit hunt on my watch. I like to think we've outgrown the days of running people out of town on rails. I'd rather play it safe. Don't worry, it's not like I'm going to run around town telling everyone that Sammy magicked a bunch of terrible disasters into existence. But if there's a catalyst for all this, why wouldn't it be a lost Scarlet finally coming home to Scarlet Hollow? If I may, Sammy getting into town isn't the only major event that happened lately. Her land died over a week ago, and those creatures in the woods were already reproducing by the time she got into town. That would be interesting if that was an actual fail state. I agree with Oscar, though. I do think the inciting incident was actually Pearland's death. She was probably doing something to keep this at bay. Not to mention, I started seeing those things in her house before Pearland passed. I think. I never thought to make a note of exactly when the spirit made itself known. If there's a root cause for all of this, hopefully there's a way to put the genie back in its bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have ever been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. Those carvings I warned Dr. Kelly about are important. I think there was something like that under my house all this time, and to think someone must have put it there. But who? There was one in the mines, and if you're right, there's one in the clinic. Maybe that's what I should be focusing on right now. How many of those things are there? If we're lucky, maybe just those 3, but I'd rather not count on it. Good thing Sammy has an appointment with the doc. You could look around for clues while you're there. That was my thought exactly, Avery! And it's probably a good idea to see her anyways, for your health. Need to get Reese out of there before something bad happens to him. It's a shame she preemptively shut down our movie night. It would have been a perfect cover. Well, we should investigate the clinic. I'm sure Reese will be fine. I'm gonna break into the clinic and see what I can find. We need to get Reese out of there before something bad happens to him. Sounds terrifying, but maybe necessary. No, I veto this. We don't want a repeat of last night. We should be more cautious about what we do next. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it is to help a friend. Hopefully a warning text is all he needs to get himself out of there. I'd like to think that, at the very least, we've let him know to be careful. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or 2 to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? We have a carving right here. Maybe study it and give us some news. Not a chance. I know the ghost is probably gone for good, but that thing is evil, and if there's even the slightest chance that going back down there triggers something, it's not worth disturbing. At least not until we know more. My daughter's safety comes first right now. We finally have our house back, and I'm not going to take any risks. We know what we're dealing with. No arguments here. I know she just offered me free medicine, but I still don't trust Dr. Kelly. She's hiding something. I don't think we need to go around accusing anyone of being deceitful. No, Sammy is definitely right. I know that's probably not great to hear, since Rosalina really needs her right now, but something is up with Dr. Kelly. I'm worried about Reese. She seems pretty normal in there, even if she was a little terse with you two. She was pretty nice to Rosalina, I'd say. Yeah, she likes sick people and kids, people who are easy to control. I'll snap, kid. I request we drop this line of thinking. We don't need to turn on each other based on pure speculation. Besides, she took me at my word about everything that happened last night. That has to count for something, right? I think it's because she's seen stuff too that she's hiding. I wonder if this could be the work of some sort of cult. I mentioned something like this at the library the other day. If there was a cult in Scarlet Hollow, I feel like we know about it. I think cops are in on it. Someone who spends a lot of quality time with Scarlet Hollow's finest, those fellas couldn't keep a secret to save their lives. You You wouldn't believe some of the things I've overheard while pouring coffee, but never any mention of some secret society or weird religious cult, unless bowling counts. Bowling could be a cover for something, but they just seem so... what's the word I'm looking for? Ineffectual. Yeah, incompetent was the word I was thinking, but... exactly. Even if they are part of a cult, I doubt we really have to worry about them. Make sure Pixel stays inside or he might get grabbed by ditchlings. Ditchlings are those things from the woods, right? With those faces. Yeah, the ambushed doughboys. I kind of like them. It's like a hidden object game out there today with all the weird little faces peering out of the bushes. It is like a hog. Like them? Are we talking about the same creatures that have been laying eggs in the local wildlife? I don't want to get friendly with them or anything. I just think they're kind of interesting. To each their own. Will do. I can't imagine how devastated Rosalina would be if something were to happen to him, especially after everything she's been through. Whatever we're doing next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella, and fast. So we're burning daylight, let's out. Looks like you've got something to work on now. We should get back to looking for Stella. I do. Thanks for the lead, Sammy. See you around, Oscar. Let us know what you find. I will. Good to know that you have an open invitation to the clinic today. Finding Stella should be our priority, but it wouldn't hurt to check in on Reese later. It wouldn't hurt for you to get a checkup either. Let's check out the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Here's hoping Winnie doesn't try to rope me in clocking in early. I thought you said it was bustling. There are 4 people. And she's reading a book. Feels like you walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners, and they're having what seems to be an intense discussion. Their expression's gravely serious. What's going on? There's a strike up at the mines. They've made the diner their base of operations. When you asked for the morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie, Stella's gone missing, and I've been helping these 2 track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize now, and I can't say I have. Should I be worried about her? No, not. We're not interrupting anything here, are we? Of course not. Any paying customer is welcome, as long as you aren't about to step on anybody's toes or cause a fuss. The miners in the back were too engaged in conversation to notice you enter, and instead of speaking in hushed voices, argue with each other loudly enough for you easily overhear. Sure, the shift schedules are tough, and sure, we don't get enough time off for me to see my family as often as I'd like, but this is the best job I can get right now. Listen, kid, you're only a year or so into this gig. Trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you think you can weather it till you find something better. Paycheck's a paycheck, I get it. But the next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses up every free second it can suck out of its workers and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can ever save enough to get the hell out. Zax, we could get fired for this. I really need this paycheck. My sister needs the paycheck. I'm the only reason she can afford her tuition right now. I can't get fired. And this job has its perks, like the company housing. Can't afford my own place and send money back home. I don't know where I would live if I didn't have this job. Right, the company housing. How generous of the big boss to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had proper maintenance done in decades. You know she uses that housing as an excuse to pay us less. And the company housing, that means almost nobody in this whole damn town owns the place they live. That's why the Scarlets can keep getting away with whatever they want. Zax, we don't have the numbers, man. You know this is risky. Riskier than most of us can afford. We would have the numbers if y'all would stand with me and not let management's scare tactics get to you. It's not scare tactics. People like her now. That woman ran into a collapsing coal mine and saved 3 children from being buried alive. I feel you, I really do, but how are we supposed to organize a strike against a town hero? Are you trying to tell me that a mine collapsing less than 2 days ago is why you don't want to strike? It's a bad time, Zax. It's always a bad time, Baker. Doesn't matter whose name is on the deed for the place. Without us, there's no mine. We've
got 'em against the ropes. We can't back down now or they'll come out swinging.
Are none of you gonna comment on how I'm old now? A ghost story, years of my life last night. Weighing on Baker and Harrison's situation. Everyone should join the strike. Unite with your fellow workers. Screw my cousin. Don't pressure people's acts. If they don't want to strike, they don't have to. I'm gonna not weigh in on this. Not really my place. About the strike. The miners turn toward the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison.
We all know who you're related to, kid. Word travels fast. And I'll be damned if we talk business in front of you.
I support you guys, but maybe you can save this until next week. Tabitha's mom just died. This whole strike thing is hardly fair. I may be the boss's cousin, but I support the strike. You think I like Tabitha? You met her. I do like Tabitha, so no. I don't actually have a horse in this race. I didn't even know Scarlet Hollow existed until a few days ago. I may be the boss's cousin, but I support the strike. Whoa. Even the boss family on our side? Maybe this really could work.
The whole town should be on our side. There was a collapse less than 2 days ago, and she expects us not to riot at the thought of being forced back down there? Damn strict.
You're here.
Still, if you support the strike, the best thing you can do right now is not meddle with it. Trust can only go so far.
No, Sammy's cool. I wouldn't hang out with her if she wasn't. You can't help who you're related to, right?
No, I suppose you can't. But that don't mean we have to trust everyone who stumbles into town.
No offense, but your friendship doesn't mean much, Diner Kid. You're friends with everybody, even that Julius freak.
Diner Kid, I know you didn't. I know you know Avery's name. If I hear you call him that again...
Sorry, Miss Winnie, won't happen again.
Don't apologize to me.
Sorry, Avery. I didn't mean to be so dismissive. Alright, though. I'm pretty friendly with most people in town. If my friendliness and ability to get along with anybody means I can't vouch for you, I guess that's that. Sorry, Sammy.
I'll vouch for her. You can't say that doesn't mean anything. Y'all know I hate Tabitha. I wouldn't stick my neck out for any relative of hers who wasn't 100% on our side. Alright, noted. Can't say I'm comfortable having our little discussion in front of you, but maybe I won't keep thinking of you as Tabitha's little stoogie.
Hey, have any of you seen Stella? She's missing.
The YouTuber?
We ain't seen her.
Harrison's voice drops to barely audible mumble.
Hope she's okay. Are none of you gonna comment on how I'm old now? A ghost stole years of my life last night.
We're doing important work right now. Go bother someone else with your Halloween prank.
What if she's actually telling the truth?
Come on, Harrison. All us losers are the only ghosts in this town. Won't be losers for long if we just band together and make this moment count.
Guess we should get going. Achievement unlocked. What's the buzz? Turn and leave the diner. Avery and Kanika trailing closely behind you. Still no sign of Stella. Whoa. Oh no! Before you can gesture your next move, you start to feel woozy. Spots form at the edge of your vision. Your legs suddenly feel unstable. Your body sending you clear signals of exhaustion. No! A minute passes. Still, it probably wouldn't be long before your body needs a chance to rest. You should plan your next move wisely. No! We can only go one more place! No! I wanted to do all of the explorations. Fuck! It's catching up to me now. Do we go to the mines or do we go to the church? Because on one hand, so the reason I'm thinking that, I don't want to go to the cops because, you know, fuck the cops. They're useless in this town. And in most towns. She could have gone back to the mines because she has that map of them. Or we also haven't been to the church at all. I don't think she'd be there, but it's a place we haven't explored yet. So that's kind of why I'm thinking one of those two. What do you think? I want to explore all the places. No, here. I'm not sure what we'd find at the church either, but like I said, we haven't been there yet. So it's just a new place to be. You know what we could do? We could do both! We could save and then go back. Okay, let's go to the mines first. We should go to the mines. guess there's a decent chance Stella would find your cousin. I can't say I get it, but it's definitely something she would do. You don't see it? Come on, the two of them had such a dynamic, you know? Classic cat and dog situation. Come on, I'll drive us. Well, can you get to her ram? Isn't long before you find yourself outside the Scarlet Mines. Better hours now or none at all. I am unhappy with the treatment I am receiving as a worker in the Scarlet Mine. What a protest sign. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all this. Don't worry, I know these guys. Most of them are in the diner at least a couple days a week. They'll be chill. Will they be chill talking to Tabitha's cousin, though? Look out, fellas. That's the boss's cousin. And Zach said those kids were just down at the diner acting suspicious. Don't engage. On your side. Maybe related to Tabitha, but I stand with the workers. Pretty sure she knows you're striking. There's nothing I can tell her that she doesn't already know. I know nothing. I heard nothing. I am a shadow on the wall. I'm gonna take you down somehow, whether you talk to me or not. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. Miners collectively ignore you. Look, I know you have a well-deserved bone to pick with the Scarlets, but Stella doesn't have anything to do with the strike. Have you seen her or not? The YouTuber? She's on all the banned for property posters, right? We haven't seen her, and we've been out here all day, so we'd know if she'd come by. Oh no, this isn't looking good. It's okay, just because she hasn't been out seen today doesn't mean something bad happened to her. I'll make sure to keep an eye out. I'll try that. I need to talk to Tabitha. So you're saying you want to cross the picket line. You don't have to literally cross the picket line to get inside. That map you found of Stella's computer was practically a handbook for breaking into the space. Come on, what harm could I possibly cause by going in there? I have my cousin's phone number. I'm staying at her house, and last I checked, she knows we're all striking. Sneak in. Pull Kanika and Avery aside and tell them we plan to sneak in. I guess that'll work, but I don't think it's a good idea for us to follow you in there. Yeah, I've never really been sneaky. Plus, all the miners know me. I'd stick out like a sore thumb. We'll just wait outside by the van. Make your way to a hole in the fence and sneak into the mine. The industrial noises of the Scarlet Mine are only a little quieter than they were 2 days ago. The trailer that serves as Tabitha's office looms above you on the hill. You walk up to Tabitha's trailer and knock on the door. You wait for a moment. No response. You open the door. Achievement unlocked. Rodriguez the Rat! Oh ho! I think I can turn at least a few of the guys, and if you fire Davis. Oh my god, have you heard of knocking? What are you even doing up here? Should I go? Bad. Aw. Yeah, and make sure no one sees you. No one else, at least. Rodriguez pauses before he leaves. You scum. Fly be dead. Whoa, what happened to you? It's a Halloween costume. Huh, really? Could have fooled me. Halloween's not till Monday, and that is some high-quality makeup work. It's a Halloween costume. Don't make me repeat myself. Rodriguez the Rat, I see. Hey, I got kids to take care of. I can't miss a paycheck, and this is a right-to-work state. There's nothing wrong with me trying to keep food on the table. Don't say another word. Just leave. I'll handle this. The door clicks closed as Rodriguez leaves Tabitha's office. Tabitha heaves a sigh. Please, just forget anything you heard, okay? I don't think you should fire Davis. They'd really start hating you then. You can salvage this. You just need to hear them out. He seems well liked. They'd make him a martyr and it would strengthen the strike. People think you're a hero now for rescuing Becca and Alexis from the mine collapse. Firing Davis would squander that. Seems like a mean thing to do. I don't think you actually do anything to break the site. Strike. There aren't really many of them out there. Why risk anything? You can just wait them out. I think I would either go with talking to Tabitha. I would either go with they make him a martyr. It would strengthen the strike. I'm gonna go with the they think you're a hero, because those two are the most like logical answers. People think you're a hero right now for rescuing Becca and Alexis from the mine collapse. Firing Davis would squander that. They think I'm a hero right now? That's what I heard at the diner. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's why it seems like they have so little momentum. If that's the case, I can wait to see where this goes before doing anything that might just make things worse. Thanks, Sammy. I'm glad we came rid of the mine. I still want to go back and check out the church just to be safe, but I feel like I interfered in a good way. Sorry, but I don't think I can be on your side for the strike. Have you talked to them? Do you even know what they want? Not yet, but I'm sure that whatever their demands are, I can't meet them. I don't know how much I could actually do to make people happy. Mine has been run like this for decades. If I change anything, the whole thing could collapse. You know, one thing you could do that probably wouldn't actually cost you any money is an amendment to the contract that, like, every year they work, they earn a certain percentage of the company housing they live in. Because then, over time, especially for the longer running guys that have been here for a while, they get to own their own house. And then there's maintenance that you don't have to worry about because it's their house. And it's a nice loyalty program. Like, there's just one thing you could do that wouldn't cost you that much money. Also, be saving on property taxes and all that. Metaphorically, I mean. But if I'm right and things pick up soon, maybe I'll be able to give everybody a raise or shorter shifts. I'm not a monster. It's not like I enjoy working people so hard, but it's the only thing paying the bills. It's not the end of the world if the mine fails or if the town's economy collapses. People can move, people can rebuild. Like I said earlier, solo estate, get out of here. No. Look, I get it, but you can at least hear them out. You drop the whole woe is me after the boss. Suck it up and take less of a paycheck so you can pay your employees. Judging from what she eats, I don't think she has that much money either. Maybe you can meet them halfway. I don't even know if halfway would be enough. You won't know unless you talk to them. Okay, you're right. Maybe I will. I just need to be careful. I don't want to be the Scarlet that finally runs this place into the ground. Don't make promises I can't keep. Look, you didn't come here to talk to me about my meeting. Why are you here? Don't get me wrong, it's nice to see a friendly face, but you shouldn't be up here. This is my battle to fight. Stella is missing. We've been looking all over town for her and don't have any leads. Tap for the groans. I don't think Wayne. That's what I'm worried about. Wayne's my friend. He wouldn't have hurt the people. He's not my friend. There wasn't evidence that he'd been in her house or signs of trouble. No, that's what I'm worried about. Let's see if I can figure something out. Do you have time to hang out later? I miss you. You do? You're not joking? There's so much on my plate right now. But I'll see you tonight. Maybe we can have some ice cream or something if you want to spend time together. I mean, yay! I want to be friends with Tabitha. Tabitha's phone buzzes. I better get back to work. Stay safe out there, Sandy. Call me if you run into any more trouble, but please don't go looking for any today, okay? She's sharing the ice cream. I know, that's such a huge thing. Okay. We're gonna save here, and then I'm gonna jump back. And check out the church because I'm curious. But I think we're gonna stick with that run through the mines because it's making me happy. Should check out the church. The church? Why? See what you're thinking. Stella was confronted with evidence of the afterlife, so she might try getting into all the religious stuff. It's worth checking out. I think we'd be barking up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. I love the mines choices. There's no point in not being thorough. I wouldn't mind stocking up on some holy water while we're there, too. Seems like a good idea to cover all our bases at this point. Don't think Baptists do the holy water thing, but I'm sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us all around a little longer. It's good enough for me. Let's not linger, though. I don't want him thinking we're possible converts. Gosh, I'm having so much fun with this guy. Oh, look, it's JD! She's down here feeding the llamas. Kanika leads the way, taking you up the gradual slope towards the church. You know, I've lived here for a few years now, and I've never actually been to the church. This is why I went... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on a second. I don't know if you guys saw, but Wayne was in the corner behind... against the side of the building behind where Kanika's standing right now. It's probably for a good reason. Where is that weirdo? Hold hold on. I'm actually gonna load and look at that again. Oh, shit. I saved it. Dang it. Never mind. My. 4 visitors at once on a Thursday. This is unprecedented. But there are only 3 of us. Oh no, were we followed by a ditchling? Sup, old people? Oh, that's just Zane. What are you doing here? All the glimpses of death I had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if faith held any answers for me. Alas, I have not yet found the solace that I seek. I love you, Zane. Yeah, you saw him too. He's right there. Oh man, I'm so glad we came over here. I'll probably stick with the mine choices, but I'm glad we came to investigate. Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart, but when he does, you won't regret letting him. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you, and of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night and no one has seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried. We hoped maybe you or Janie had seen her. I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've seen neither hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over there by the alpacas. Alpacas, not llams. I was worried about that. Though, Sammy, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. This music is so creepy. Why does that have to be in private? It's a personal matter. I'd rather folks not pry on this. I won't bite or anything, I promise. And we can talk here, right in the open. Guess we'll leave you to it while we check in with Janie. See you in a minute. Yep, Wayne's still there. Oh, Wayne, what are you doing here? Your friends head off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with a nervous pastor. I had a chat with the mayor yesterday. I heard you did too. I'm so glad you came. I've never met anyone else who could hear them. You have no idea how long I thought I must have had some kind of insanity. I even thought at one point that it must have been the Lord himself talking to me through them. But they never had anything very insightful to say, so I was disavowed of that pretty early on. I don't need to keep asking people about my appearance. Whoa. Are you telling me you also... But I thought I was the only... No, we pegged that he could also talk to animals yesterday. Are we sure we're actually talking to animals? Have we been cursed? Why do we suffer this fate? Have you met Fruit, Gretchen? Of course I have. But I learned early on in life not to let on that I have this gift, at least while other humans are around, so I haven't spoken with any of them. Though I get the feeling Frou wouldn't talk to me even if she knew I could understand her. I've tried to befriend the alpaca when no one else is around. Emphasis on tried. They're surprisingly clicky. That doesn't surprise me. Besides that, I try to maintain a low profile, only chatting with the wildlife when I'm sure no one is looking. Are we sure we're actually talking animals? Now that I know there are at least 2 of us, I have no doubt. There have definitely been times in my life when I thought I might just be insane. But it's so consistent, and I've never exhibited any other signs of insanity. In my most doubting moments, I have considered the possibility that other entities may be using the animals to confuse my faith. But besides a particularly vicious hamster I had growing up, the most an animal has ever tried to convince me to do is give them more food. That sounds like most animals. So I somehow doubt they're puppets for some otherworldly evil, unless that otherworldly evil wants me to overfeed my pets. I'm gonna just click it so it'll get out of the way. You're not gonna comment on my appearance. You saw me yesterday. The ghost cursed me last night. Now I'm old. Oh, and here I thought you were putting on some sort of early Halloween costume. Is this about the spirit you mentioned in the library? I'm sorry I wasn't more open-minded, and I'm sorry that I had to drop your call. Clearly been through quite the ordeal. Have we been cursed? Why do we suffer this fate? I don't think it's a curse. It can be annoying at times, but so can talking to people. Fair. Now, not that I feel that way very often, of course. As a servant to God, I am always ready and willing to talk with my fellow man about anything they need to discuss. Like Wayne standing over there, that's what I want to talk about. Spiritually, I've always rationalized it as God's sign mixed results. Seems the alpaca prefer Catholicism, which they know about somehow. And birds tend to be incredibly heretical. This entire conversation. Physically, I wish I had answers. I wish I could approach a scientist about this without becoming a research experiment. But I've preferred to keep quiet at my doctor's visits. I can't risk being locked away or altered in some permanent way, not when I have family to take care of. Hope you don't think two of us sharing this gift means we're friends. I hope it means that this means the two of us are bonded for life, best friends. No one else understands what it's like to miss. Does Janie know? Great! The one other person I met who shares my talent is a religious weirdo. I'm just gonna go, does Janie know? No, I don't believe there should be secrets between man and wife. So I'll have to tell her one day, but there hasn't been a good time yet. Building a life in Scarlet Hollow has been a difficult process, and the last thing I need to do is add the stress of her husband being some kind of circus act. I would just walk you over there and be like, hi Janie, we can both talk to animals. Tulip, on the other hand, starting to have my suspicions that she might share this gift. You have a kid that's named Tulip? There have been some particularly nasty rats in the church lately, and she said some things that have led me to believe she might be able to understand them. It's interrupted by the sounds of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property. There are no ditchlings over here, which is interesting. Tulip, come out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good, or are we going to skip story time tonight?
I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go into the woods, I promise.
Who are you looking back at, Tulip? I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time they got fed. You could give them hay. Tulip smiled broadly, seeming excited by the prospect, and hurries on. She's so tiny. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into those woods a lot lately. It's really dangerous, even for adults. Wayne's still there. I keep, peeking to see if he'll, disappear one frame. There's this massive trash dump not too far past the trees, but it must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and looks like it's the lake, Tetanus Lake that, she was talking about. But if you accidentally walk in on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. Oh, Tetanus Lake. Stella told me about it. Tetanus Lake. That's an accurate name. I wonder if Tulip would stay away if I started calling it that, or if it would only make it sound more alluring. How big a trash dump are we talking? Would a weekend of hard work clear it out? Maybe if you had construction equipment and a team of professionals. It's a big area, and I have no idea how deep it goes. In the meantime, I'm just making sure Tulip knows not to go near it. What were you saying about the church rats? Ah, yes, the rats. So you and I are used to the sort of chatter we hear from wildlife. It's usually nothing that needs to be paid attention to. These rats, there's something so sinister about them. And they must be huge, judging by the sound of them scurrying around in there. I think it's Wayne. Tulip had never shown an evidence of the ability before. She's never responded to the alpacas or engaged in conversation with birds. In retrospect, she could have been hiding it the way I did growing up. Because I know she's been talking to the rats. She calls them her friends and has been drawing all these pictures of them, really ghastly things. It could be ditchlings. I've tried to bring it up with her, but she just gets this little smile and doesn't say a word. It's like her fun little secret. It's all innocent enough in the grand scheme of things, but I'm pretty sure they also live out in that trash heap. And ever since she started talking about her friends, she's been trying to sneak out there. I'm concerned she's going to get hurt or catch some kind of disease. What have they been saying? They like to try to goad me into crying or becoming depressed. They watch me through unseen holes and make fun of me and try to figure out how to press my buttons. It's annoying, but easy enough to block out, especially when I'm praying. I don't think they're a good influence on Tulip, though. She's gotten quiet and secretive ever since she started talking to them. I hate to think what they say to her when I'm not around to hear. Have you actually seen them? No, but I don't need to. I lived in a dorm that had rats once. You'd possum in one, poor thing. Possums are never very bright. But at least he got a nice big scoop of peanut butter out of the ordeal. I'm sure they're rats. I think so. The pastor shifts uncomfortably for a moment. I hope so. Has Janie heard them? She's not in the church very often. She's usually in town doing her jobs until late. And we spend our evenings in the house. It's just me and Tulip all day long. Janie knows Tulip has made some strange little friends, but thinks it's an imagination game. I was hoping I'd sort out the rat issue before she could get suspicious, but they're persistent, so I may have to hire an exterminator if I can get the money for one. I hope it doesn't come to that. Maybe try befriending them, maybe Tulip help with them. Anything I can do to help, maybe I could try talking to them. Shocked to Tulip about the gift. I'm sure both of us could have used some guidance for her. Is there anything I can do to help you try talking to them? That would be lovely. I'd appreciate a helping hand here. Don't want to be too much of a bother. You should probably finish looking for your missing friend first, but I'll be around. Wayne is right there, and we're concerned that Wayne took her. Have we not seen him? Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kaniga and Avery walking back to the two of you. They must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we'd better get going. Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Sammy. We gotta feed the alpacas. They were so cute and soft. It's awesome. And Janie says she'll come by the diner with cookies for the miners. And a few extra for me, of course. She's so nice. And she's offered to bring me some since I'm feeling under the weather. Hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yes, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let you all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. Alright, thanks. See ya. Smallest church in Scarlet Hollow. So, what was that about? He seemed pretty insistent on talking to you alone. Yeah, he didn't say anything weird, did he? He can also talk to animals. Just wanted to discuss it with me. Tulip's apparently made some weird imaginary friends. We might want to check it out later this week. Kids make up imaginary friends all the time. Pastor Daniel says there's a rat infestation in the church and that the rats are her friends. I don't know. It seems weird. Should have known we'd have to deal with a spooky kid at some point, right, Avery? Okay, as much as I'd hate going back there, I guess that's a loose lead. If we don't have anything else to investigate once we've found Stella and once we've checked out the clinic, then maybe we can look around the church. Sounds like a plan. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where to next? Okay. Load. I want to go, since I accidentally overwrote. Let's save that there. I'm gonna go back here just to talk to the cops. Oh wait, shoot. Turn the music down a little, thanks. Done. Yeah, I'm ready to absolutely cry for this chapter, but we're going back and we're gonna stick to being friends with Tabitha. I just want to see what happens for the other stuff, but we can only do one more thing because we're exhausted. So I'm just gonna use this save to go check in on the cops. I don't think oh, I didn't mean to do that. Dang it. Grr. Shoot. Because in the last chapter I chose to give up some of my years. So that is the visual effect. So we can only do this one more thing because we're exhausted. But I want to go, I just want to see what happens if we go talk to the cops. We can talk to animals and we have street smarts. So unhelpful as they are, we are dealing with a missing person. That's cop stuff. It's probably going to be more of a formality than anything, but there's no point in not covering all of our bases. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be useful, but I just want to see what happens. The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. Good to know. None of my playthroughs have involved the hot ending. Or hot trait, but we're just here for fun. But you're also not alone here. You enter to find a worried Beau standing between you and the officers behind the desk. Let me get this right. You're trying to report a missing pumpkin? Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Sheriff Hugby, sir. She was gonna be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to me. Are you sure it was Julius, not some enterprising bear that got a hold of it? We all know Julius thinks that land belongs to him. He probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so for all I know, he might have been all the way to the state fair by now with our pumpkin. Ain't there something y'all can do about it? I'm afraid we'll need at least some kind of evidence to go on before we go barging into a man's home, son. Why don't you see if you can find something a little more solid for us to go on? Then we can see about helping you out. Whoa there, what happened to you? It ain't polite to comment on appearances like that. Ghost turned me old. What are you talking about? I've always looked like this. Free the library from a wrathful spirit at great cost to myself. The officers stare at you for a moment, taking in what you said. Looks like what happens when my wife takes her makeup off. Hugby laughs, slapping his knee, announcing to the room that he has told a great joke. Hugby, come on, be nice. Sammy's been through a lot. Earl didn't mean anything by it, just injecting a little levity into the room. Enough talking about my mug. We've got a missing person on our hands. Stella hasn't been seen since yesterday, and the front door of her house was left open. The place was a mess. Oh, so you think you're leading an investigation, do you? Coming in here like you have some kind of authority? Well then, why don't you march on out and dig up some clues if you think you're such a big shot? Remains silent. There's no point in arguing with these clowns. She'll turn up. She always does. Beau, did you manage to find your dad? Beau's stoic expression breaks, and for a moment you can only see tears forming in his eyes, but he blinks them away. No, I ain't found him yet. Had to stop looking so I could stay home and guard the farm. There are more of those things every minute, seems like. Think they'll go back where they came from soon? Sybil says they don't hurt people. I ain't too worried about myself or my mama. It's the animals they keep trying to drag off. They're stealing food out of our mouths, and it don't seem to matter how many of them I pop. They just keep coming. Those are Daddy's chickens. I want us to keep them safe for him. But I'm doing my part, taking out as many of those little nasty things as I can. I can't stop feeling like things are going to get worse. Maybe that's just the way people feel after something bad happens. No, I think you might be onto something. It's getting weirder every day. Yep, my character is older. My mom did say the ditchlings are supposed to be some horrible omen, but that doesn't mean it's true. For all we know, the weird stuff is behind us, and those creepy things will crawl back to wherever they came from, and Scarlet Hollow will go back to normal. Yeah, it's very sad. Poor Beau. But I guess it doesn't hurt to plan for the worst. That's all it's about, a pumpkin. Seems Beau here's misplaced a considerably large pumpkin. Y'all heard a word I said. I didn't misplace Big Betty. She was stolen. And I know who done it, so I'd appreciate if y'all would give Mr. Tremaine a visit and set things straight. And I'm telling you, we can't barge into your neighbor's house just because you want us to. I don't know. Yeah, so I was replaying with Talking to Animals and Book Smarts in my other playthrough, and in that one we did manage to talk our way out of the ghost. We don't know how many years we gave up. We just feel older and everybody keeps commenting on it. And we have this nice little blood spattered effect. What makes you think Mr. Tremaine stole it? Poke at a wasp's nest, Sammy. There are 100 years of history there. He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. The Callaways and the Tremaines have been at this a long time. They can never agree on whose land it was whose. This ain't the first time we've heard something like this, and we get our fair share of calls from Julius Tremaine, too. You know, Julius is a friend of mine. He's a lot of things, and he's definitely a bit of a curmudgeon, but I've never pegged him as a thief. I have no idea. We're old enough that everybody is remarking on it, and apparently we have a nice gray streak in our hair. We might die by the end of the week, who knows? Talk is a strong word, but I think we have some kind of understanding. Why is this pumpkin so valuable? Me and my daddy put a lot of work into that pumpkin. She was near 2,000 pounds. Guaranteed blue ribbon. Naturally, our first question is how an old man like Julius Tremaine manages to move a pumpkin that size. Makes the whole story just a little difficult to believe. I don't know how Julius managed it, but I know it must have been him. He ain't even come to his door to answer for what he done. At the very least, he could give me seeds from what's left of her. Raising her was the last thing Daddy and me did together. That's interesting, because I haven't seen Julius since Tuesday. He's usually in the diner every day. Not necessarily a big deal for a lot of people, but he never misses his morning go. So maybe he isn't a thief. Could be something happened to him. If he ain't the thief, then who stole our pumpkin? Beats me. I just don't think folks should not be so quick to jump to conclusions. How do you even move a 2,000-pound pumpkin? I don't know how he did it, but he did. You, sure it wasn't a bear? Weren't no bear. We're hunting folks, we know the signs. This was a man's work, and that means it was Mr. Tremaine. He knew just what to do to hurt our family. If you're related to Julius, why can't you push your differences aside and get along? Someone's gotta be a big rat. No, you don't get in the middle of family feuds. Don't think Bo's asking you to throw Julius in jail or anything. Why can't you look into this? Classic Southern family dispute. True, but... Don't think Bo's asking you to throw Julius in jail or anything. Why can't you look into this? Sammy's right. I ain't asking for much. Bo, if I went down that road, I'm sure Julius would come down here tomorrow and have a whole list of his own complaints, and all of them would sound just as justified as yours. Sometimes it's better just to let things work themselves out. But it sounds like Bo has a real case here. It's not just two neighbors having an emotional dispute. Property's been stolen. Couldn't you get involved on his behalf just this once? After everything he's been through this week? You say that like it is the first time one of these feuding farm folk have come in about missing vegetables. We've heard it all. And what we've learned is it's best to keep our noses out of it. I'm sure Bo here would be unsatisfied with whatever the legal system feels is just punishment for stealing Big Betty. Doesn't matter what happens. If we do anything, Julius will be storming in here the next day with complaint of his own. Heck, he'll probably come down here regardless. So Julius is clearly dead, right? Yup. And it'll be about a missing butternut squash or what have you that he's sure made it into a soup on the Callaway side of the property line. You know, even if Julius didn't take Big Betty, it might be worth doing a welfare check. All right, let me speak in plainer terms. Everyone knows that Julius Tremaine's land is booby-trapped to hell. It's not worth it. Oh, so the real reason you don't want to go out there is because you're scared. Got it. That's never stopped me. Yeah? Do you have kids, Avery? Because I've got 2 teenage girls at home. Hugby's got grandkids. Franklin's got the mayor, I guess. I'm not about to risk getting my head blown off over a pumpkin. That's right. There are some sleeping dogs you learn to just let lie. I've been Scarlet Hollow sheriff for over 20 years now. You don't hold a position like that for so long without learning a few lessons on temperance and moderation. If I may, sirs, that ain't a mite bit cowardly of you. I thought police officers were supposed to be brave. Not the ones that live very long, son. Look, I've been to Julius's 100 times. I can tag along and make sure nobody gets hurt. That's a mighty kind offer. Oh, sorry, Sheriff. That's a mighty kind offer, but let's give it another day. There's no need to escalate things when they might just resolve themselves. I don't need to ask them about the cult thing. Let's just get going. Well, no one can say we didn't try. Let's keep looking. Have a good one, officers. Same to you, kid. Achievement unlocked. Why won't they just do their jobs? Accurate. Well, that was a total waste of time. It wasn't a total waste of time. We gotta find out what's been going on with Julius. He's been missing from the diner for a few days. It's weird. Usually comes in every single day. Maybe he's preoccupied with the ditchlings. I just hope he's okay. Where to next? Okay. That's gonna start struggling again, so we will save that there, and then we'll go back and load the mine, because that one was way more fun. I like this one. Achievement unlocked, picket line. You find Kanika and Avery waiting for you outside. It is my first time playing this chapter. It did just come out yesterday. You don't look like you found any new leads. Look back at the striking miners. I'm going to warn them about Rodriguez's scheme. I have been on the side of the strike this whole game. Hold on. I am on the side of the strike. However, I feel like if I tell them about Rodriguez, then they're going to be upset with Tabitha, even though I already talked her out of following his advice. And I feel like that'll just escalate things. So normally I would warn them about Rodriguez. But I think this time I'm going to keep it to myself. You don't need to go around spilling Tabitha's secrets. I feel like I will be able to talk Tabitha into doing something responsible on my side without save and see what happens. The problem is I think that's going to be a long-term impact. Feels like we've done our due diligence here. Come on, I'll drive us back to town and we can figure out our next move from there. Yeah, we have done it a couple of times. But yeah, I feel like that's a long-term impact kind of thing. Where to next? As you consider your next move, your vision blurs again. But this time it persists. The weakness in your knees returns, your ears fill with static. You can feel yourself swaying, unable to control your body. It seems the toll of the pact you made last night is finally catching up with you. Whoa, you don't look too good. Your body crumples to the ground. Oh! Oh shit, the general store's just around the corner. Let's get you inside. The bells of the general store jingle welcomely as your companions drag you across the threshold. You can faintly make out the unintelligible mumblings of what must be voices, and then you fade out once again. Oh, good. Like, I hope this blur filter goes away soon. You come to in a chair in the tea room. Sybil sits across from you, a gentle smile of relief washing over her face as you regain consciousness. It's dark here, the sunlight filtering through the heavy curtains weak and watery, partially supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plants in the corner. Welcome back. It's just the two of us now, I'm afraid. Avery had to go help out at the diner, and Kanika is getting some much-needed bed rest upstairs. I went ahead and made you some tea, dear. It should help you a bit with your condition. Your eyes drift down to the cup of freshly brewed tea in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with undertones of decaying earth. Yeah, there's always something slightly concerning about Sybil. I'm excited to see it. It's the same tea you sampled with Avery at the diner on Tuesday. Don't expect it to change your gray hairs back, but at the very least, it should make it easier for your mind and spirit to adjust to some of the physical changes you've gone through. Hopefully, you'll be a little less exhausted and a little less prone to passing out. The fact that she keeps telling us not to worry about Wayne is definitely concerning. And when you're finished, we can use the leaves for a reading on the house, of course. Until then, why don't we just chat? How'd you end up in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I knew so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down for generations of hill folk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks can afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it? Unsavory tales of my mom's youth? I most certainly did, though I might have exaggerated a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to doing that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Pearl Ann was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. Tabitha doesn't have a lot of social grace, but she's not that bad. She's my friend. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Why were Pearlan and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. Okay, so they were twins. Good to know. I was assuming Pearlan was the older sister. I wonder what this banner says. She didn't survive the labor. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stewart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it, what with skipping town and all. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed your mother's worries had something to do with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I know. But the way Vivian was the night she came to me, it stuck in my mind. It's always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. So with all this mystery and ritual, if you have something to tell me, just come out and say it. I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea leaves should help me give a full picture. Achievement unlocked, tea reading. Take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. Ugh. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. It's probably fine that we're drinking this tea. Close your eyes and take another sip, and then another. It's delightful. Considering how much we hated it when Avery gave it to us, the fact that we're like, yeah, this is great now. Tea is gone before you know it, the small cup empty, save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Sybil wasn't lying when she said it would help your condition. You still feel aged and worn, but you're a little less tired and a little mentally sharper than you were a few minutes ago. Oh, good. Glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming. Whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure, but we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight. Excuse me? Oh, the cat's gotta be Pixel. Maybe it's Frou-Frou. No, it's not Truck, is it? Those are the three cats I know. Cat could be Tabitha, cat could be Wayne, Stella, Kanika, Oscar, Reese, Avery, Dr. Kelly. She's been nothing but hospital ever since I messed her. Cat could be Dustin. He's a possum who lives in my dresser, and I try to talk to him every day to hear his wisdom and help with his troubles. It would break my heart if he's the traitor. It's gotta be Wayne, yeah. That could be Pastor Daniel. How do I know you're not the cat? I feel like Wayne or you, but I feel like saying it to her face isn't gonna help. Cat could be Wayne. Follows me wherever I go. It's almost like he's literally lurking in plain sight. Says he's my friend, but I'm not sure that's true. It's not. Don't trust a word out of that man's mouth. But I doubt he's the cat. The cat implies a certain level of two-facedness that I don't think he possesses. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stone carvings, seals, whatever you called them, I just think it's likely they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out, piece together what you can from your visions, and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. I mean, a lot of it did start when we met her, but also people pointed out earlier when we were leaving the library, a lot of this started before we even got to town. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. You didn't get all this from the tea leaves. Of course she didn't. She's smart. She knows how to deduce things from the leaves. Of course not. Tea leaves are merely a guide. Sometimes they can help confirm suspicions or fill in where my intuition falls short. My family has lived in these hills a long time, as is yours. So when we were being possessed and we were going through all of that, Kanika was acting out like a witch that gave information to Charlie Jr. And we specifically were getting like sinister vibes off that person. I wonder if it chose Kanika to act that part out because it was specifically an ancestor of Kanika. I know the Scarlets have secrets. I know Vivian was scared for you. But your place in all this is something we have to figure out together. And that's where little tricks like tea leaves come in handy. But we shouldn't digress. Do you know where you might find the next stone? But bad stuff always happens around them. Happens around these stones might not be anywhere close to what could happen if we let the danger encroaching on both you and this town act unopposed. Don't spoil it for us, Sister Lily. The ditchlings are multiplying every day. This is all going to come to a head, and it may just be a question of how prepared you are when it comes. Learning whatever you can could save your life, even if you're faced with more ghosts or ghouls along the way. Jay, you want to get those? Thank you. I think that's all the help I can offer. You're the best. You helped last night. Why don't you come with me? I may have been able to see through that spirit's illusions, but I'm not some kind of all-powerful entity. I'm an old woman. I have trouble with my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'd be more of a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I'd been in those mines with you. Some use I'd be, struggling to climb over rocks and ladders, throwing my back out from all of crouching. All you did was look at some leaves and tell me to go put myself in danger. I suppose you could see it that way, but I hope I've done more than that, even if you don't realize it yet. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. You warned me about not trusting people, and then you try to push me multiple times to tell you where the next seal is? No. I don't trust you. Sybil closes the door to the tea room, and the bells of its door strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. Talk to Miles. Is your mom a witch? Wouldn't you like to know? I would, actually. It's totally obvious that she's a witch. Like, you even need me to say it. See any weird rocks around town? Yeah. You. He smirks. Clearly, this is a very sick burn, and you should feel bested by his wit. So, Kanika has a cold, huh? That's what she says. She's just trying to get out of work again. Like I didn't have anything better to do all week while she sits in her room watching anime. Says the guy in Goku pants. Everybody knows Dragon Ball is good anime. She watches the trashy shit. I disagree that Dragon Ball is good anime, but whatever. Ghosts are real. Just thought you should know. Yeah, I know. I've seen tons of videos of ghosts doing stuff on the internet. I'm not 12. I'm old now. Thanks for noticing. Did you always look like that? By miles. You're not going anywhere before checking in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. Knock. Knock on Kanika's door. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just going to lie down for a while. I'm not your mom. Oh, Sammy, what's up? I need to talk to you. It's going to the clinic. I was hoping you would join me. Sorry, Sammy. My mom was right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push it or I'll wind up worse off tomorrow. Looks like you're on your own. Great. This'll go fine. Just fine. Make your way out of the general store and down the road to the clinic. Make your way up the familiar hill past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. I missed what? What do you mean I missed what? What did I miss? It isn't long before... Oh, the whispers. There's a ditchling up there, but there's a regular raccoon here. Looking at this ditchling down here. And another one over there. And a bunch around the house. Jeez. Oh, interesting. It isn't long before you find yourself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic, its secret enticing you to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the pressure. It's like a magnet has been fixed to your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. It's time for your checkup. Ask a woodland creature how they'd get into the house. Quickly glance around, eyes trained on the underbrush. A flash of striped tail grabs your eye immediately. Hi, raccoon. Can I help you, Buster? Hey there! You're trying to break into that house at the top of the hill. How would you do it? What? Just because I've got little hands and go through people's trash, I'm supposed to know how to break into places? There's a hill that takes you right up to that big flat roof thing. Sometimes the humans leave windows open up there and I go inside. Don't tell them, okay? I like to sleep in their big piles of cloth, and it's one of my few joys in life. I love him. He leaves as you turn back to look at the clinic. A dull I mean, to be fair, I didn't ask to hang out with her, so... And also, like, I'm not the closest friend with her, so... It's hard to say. A dull throb sets into your knees. There's no way you're doing that. You have your way in. Just go through the clinic door. It's a doctor's office, not Fort Knox. Why would the clinic door even be locked? We've been invited. We don't need to break in. We've been specifically invited. You carefully make your way up the old wooden stairs of the clinic's wraparound porch, avoiding any suspiciously creaking-looking steps. Push the door open slowly, just enough for you to slip in, but not enough to risk any sound from the door's ancient hinges. You can see the doc at a desk in some room down the hall. She hasn't noticed you. You shut the door silently, watching her closely. You didn't what in episode 3? You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. You've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. Yeah, I don't know what the difference is. Maybe it's because I'm exhausted and I don't know. It's been left ajar as if inviting you to enter. Because I'm assuming you didn't pass out in your playthrough. Reese, why are you laying on the table in the morgue? Sir. Sir. Lights click on, you're in the morgue. Sammy? He squints, seemingly unsure whether you're the same person he met yesterday. What are you doing in the morgue? What are you doing in the morgue, sir? Hi. Vampire! You died and she Frankensteined you back to life. Am I interrupting something? No, I was just practicing, I guess. Sometimes I just come down here to rehearse. Yeah, that might have been it. I don't know. I've been friends with Tabitha, and I know that annoys her. Rehearse, you say? Good one. His words seem distant to you. The tugging is stronger down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance, and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. Follow the pole. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Hey, are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment, the thing on the other side of the white wall loosens its pull on you. You kind of look possessed for a second there. You good? Make him understand. Why wall? Need see thing, but wall stand in way. Let me inside. Sign of magic shit going on, man, but it's telling me I need to get behind that wall. I need to get behind that wall. So there's stone carving on the other side of that wall, and I need to see it. Reese glances back at the wall. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. We just need to get the dock out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. Get the dock out of our hair? Oh, the sounds! Yeah, if I say I'm sick and I need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire way to get her out of the house. And most of the time it's true anyway. How'd you learn that little trick? Use what you use what you got to get what you need. No shame in that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Exactly. Yes, please, axe now. Wow, you are super desperate about this wall. Be right back. Strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear his soft voice filtering through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom. He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. Looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I'd just pick some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice and some ginger ale, too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked! The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. Oh, the sound effects! Save again. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doc's office first. You make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. I don't see an axe in here. He's right, a cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records with your family's name on them. Pick up the documents to read later. Scoop up the folder, tucking the documents in for later perusal. Reese watches you with curiosity. Stealing medical documents? If my family's gonna keep secrets from me, I better learn what I can. You have my family name on them, I'm allowed. Sure, I'm not gonna rat you out. You can steal whatever you want, especially since you've got some big mystery to solve. Thanks, Reese! Please be okay? Like, he's the one I weirdly, despite not, like, having an emotional or flirty attachment to him, I want to save him. I'm really concerned about whatever's happening with him. Let's check the medical supply room next. I can imagine a room full of chemicals being a place someone might want to keep an axe. Better be careful stealing stuff in there, though. That might really get you in trouble. Turn around and leave the office. It's time to move on. The medical supply room is probably a good bet. fire axe seems like he just said that. It's just down the hall. There it is.
It is, right there.
Looks like it needs a key, though. We'd better not break the glass. I'd rather explain why I had to steal the axe after we've had a chance to use it. There must be a key in here somewhere. He stops as if listening to something you can't hear. Shit, she's back already. As if on cue, you hear the front door to the clinic open and close, the creak of its antique hinges echoing down the hallway. Footsteps start down the hall. She's headed this way. Quick, we gotta hide. You're not supposed to be in here. I'm not supposed to be in here. He opens the closet door and hurriedly motions you inside. There's no way it's her, right? Like, we literally walked into 2 separate rooms. You slip past, scrunching into the small space as best you can. He attempts to slide in after you. Yep, get in here. You make space and he slips in next to you, closing the door just enough so that you can both still monitor the entrance to the supply room. Holy shit, she is in here. How did you get all the way into town, go buy stuff, do whatever errand you had on Main Street, and get back in the time it took us to walk into 2 separate rooms? He takes something out of the bag and places it on the counter. And then she hurries back out, bag rustling as she makes her way back down the hallway. I better wait a second just in case. I'm not gonna flirt with Ree. Quietly wait for the danger to pass. The 2 of you stand in tense silence, both crammed into the suffocating closet. Even if I wanted to flirt with Reese, this is not the time. The 2 of you stand in tense silence, both crammed into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths as if she could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards, broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. His head swivels suddenly. That was the door to the house. We're in the clear. Let's go. What is that? 2 of you spill out of the closet. Reese quickly and quietly starts pulling out drawers, scanning them for keys. Let Reese handle it. I want to look at what this is. You watch while he rifles through drawers, content to let him figure it out. Soon there's a jingling of keys and he turns to you victorious. There we go. They're even colorized. She made this too easy. Reese pauses to look at the plant on the table. It was weird of her to drop that off, right? Why would she put some alien-looking fruit in the supply room? She's not a pharmacist. She's not supposed to make her own medicine. This room is for storing stuff she orders from an actual pharmacist. And I doubt it's decorative. It is weird. Maybe we should do some snooping. You gave the flirting option a try. There's some information on it somewhere in here. Stick it with us and look it up later. We can always eat it and see what it does. No. Maybe there's some information on it somewhere in here? Yeah, maybe. Before you get the chance to look, Reese jerks his head towards the door. Shit, that was the door from the house. We gotta run, grab the axe and go! Grab the axe and follow Reese's instructions, once again starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right, we did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge, but there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go rest. Oh, I'm just gonna go chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds, that's just my music. Be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging we listen to. Thank God! That's a nice cover! You know I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. Do you at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You hear the door at the top of the stairs close and the sound of Reese descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Hey. Whoa. Let's do this. Yeah, like the first blow. Is it music that sounds like a wall being broken down? It's interesting that the explore options are on the bottom and not the top where they usually are. Of course I do. I'm sad all the time. Glad my taste in music is finally coming in handy. It's exactly what the cover we need. This game is so funny. Stop asking questions. It's time to see what's on the other side of the wall. No, I wanna... No, I can't. I was gonna warn him. Have at it. You approach the far end of the morgue, axe practically singing through the air as you strike the wall. The first cut offers a surprising amount of resistance. There's some structure behind it, some wood frame holding it in place, trying to stand between you and what waits for you on the other side. stagger back from the massive hole in the wall and admire your efforts. Holy shit. Splintered edge frames a dark passage seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from the forgotten passageway into the already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Yeah, definitely. Each one, like, the characters, like, I must find. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthy mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. But this one specifically, even before we found the first one, or the second one, this one specifically has always, like, called to us. Like, we had to be physically dragged away from the door when we came over for dinner yesterday. And with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward. You climb into the hole. Muse the sound effects. Blah. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital ring rotting away from decades behind some flimsy drywall. Yeah, we did find a book in the Booksmarts run that specifically was talking about this hospital and how it was like it was a hospital. So just like a one-room clinic is weird. This makes way more sense. His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past. Whoa, are you okay? No, I'm not. You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years, the planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. An axe would still probably be more helpful. That's how you get splinters. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. Is this the... Oh, fuck, where's my notes? Where are my notes? No, that's a different thing. Where are my other notes? I was taking notes last time we were playing this. This Enoch's brother that he murdered. Yeah, let's see. Theodore died supposedly in the mine collapse, and Enoch is the younger brother who took over after the collapse, and Edwardine was his daughter. So is this Theodore? They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I going to do? It is Theodore! Nonsense, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. Did you murder your own brother, Enoch? Because the history books say he died in the mine collapse, but he's here in the bed. You murdered your own brother. I've been doing my own research, and I found us an alternative. We won't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. I went to talk to the witch. The witch! A witch? But that's nonsense. It's all right. It's all sorted. I'm taking you home today, and everything will be resolved by this time next week. Ah! Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. The witch was played by Kinika, and it's that same time period, because it was Edward Shaw Jr., or not Edward, Charles Shaw Jr., who was talking to her. And Enoch is Edwardine's father. Did he carry you in here? Right? Sir, didn't think you'd be strong enough to do that. Hey, I was worried you slipped into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving, and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. You're the third person to think I had a seizure. Are you okay? Wait, nothing spooky happened? The mountain didn't collapse on us? No ghosts? No, nothing. You just fell down, twitched a little, and when you seemed stable, I carried you back here. That was a few hours ago. How? But you have a delicate constitution. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Maybe there's something spooky going on right now, and we haven't realized it yet. Great. Glad I'll have at least one mostly normal day this week. Aw, too bad. I was hoping for some excitement. But you have a delicate constitution. there's something spooky going on right now and we haven't realized it yet. Reese glances around, the two of you waiting in silence. You wait for something spooky to happen. Maybe, or maybe not. I guess it would be for the best if nothing bad happened. He sighs. Too bad, though. With your track record, I was kind of hoping we'd run into some unimaginable horrors. At least I know there's an abandoned hospital wing in the morgue. I'm sure there's plenty in there to get creeped out by. Does Dr. Kelly know I'm here? No, I snuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. Figure you wouldn't want to come too in the morgue. I had a vision. Like a hallucination? I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just weird little things, like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. I still have those documents I swiped, right? Yeah, you should still have them on you. Sure enough, you pull out the file containing medical documents about your family. I hope we get time to read all of these. I'm gonna save just in case. Because this game keeps being like, no, you have time to explore, and then nope. I'm still very impressed that he managed to carry us here. That is impressive, sir. Cause of death, sleep apnea. Discovered by her daughter, Tabitha Chrysanthemum Scarlet. No autopsy confirmed. Then how do you know? That's suspicious. Edwardine death certificate. Edwardine Scarlet, born April 9th, 1913, died February 12th, 2003, aged 89. Cause of death, heart failure, signed by her daughter, Pearl Ann Scarlet. Pretty normal, almost made it to 90, died of a normal old person illness. It's interesting that we didn't have any comments on Pearl Ann's Enoch's death certificate. Enoch V. Scarlet, born September 9th, 1987, died August 20th, 1957, age 68. Cause of death, fall from cliff. This one has a coroner's report attached. Organs sustained impact injuries, lacerations to the neck and body consistent with fall from a great height. Other death certificates. Quickly flip through a few of the other Scarlets whose names aren't quite as familiar. Theodore Scarlet, born May 24th, 1890, died in 1918, age 28. Cause of death, crushed in mine collapse, body not recovered. Enoch, what did you do? Signed by his brother. Joseph Scarlet, born April 1914, died June 7, 1944. Louis Scarlet, born August 1920, died. So a lot of the men are dying, like 30, this one was 24. Both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. Those must have been Edwardine's brothers. Certificate of fetal death, infant boy. Andrew Charles Scarlet, delivered April 3rd, 1945, stillbirth. Mother Edwardine Scarlet. Cause of death, complications during birth, no doctor present, home burial. There's no doctor present at the birth and a home burial. There's some information missing there. Alexandra Scarlet, born July 12, 1946, died August 20th, 1957, age 9. Missing, presumed dead. Signed by Mother Edwardine Scarlet. Is Alexandra the one that Sybil was talking about then? She said there was another, but they never talked about her. Oh, the stillbirth kid is the one she had with Charlie, or Alexandra is? Mary Bell Scarlet, born April 3rd, 1947, died out. That's another kid, age 16. Cause of death, complications during childbirth. Signed by her mother, Edwardine Scarlet. Time to whip out the old string and corkboard, right? I think the carvings are trying to warn me about something. My family had dark secrets. I think these are visions of things that actually happened. Whatever these visions are, they're making me very suspicious of my family. We were already suspicious, honey. These carvings are clearly drilled into some big-ass gas pocket that keep giving me seizures and hallucinations now. I think these are visions of things that actually happened. Oh, I wonder if you'd see anything else if you went back in there. Or if there are more around town. Maybe if you collect them all, you'll finally unravel whatever the big mystery is. Seems fun. I'm not gonna ask him why he didn't call, but of course he didn't. Should probably get going. Still missing in the stone here. Finally stopped yelling at me. So what now? I think Dr. Kelly should look me over. These seizures can't be good for me. Yeah. So what now? He might be stuck down here for a little bit. The doc is on the warpath up there. I refused to take my medicine, and she's not happy about it. But after I looked this up, there was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. I went ahead and blocked my door so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. Block. That would be, yeah, Tabitha and our grandma that died at age 16 in childbirth. That would make sense. So it was the, like, 9-year-old that Sybil was referring to earlier. I went ahead and locked my door. You locked your door. Of course I did. Put a chair in front of it. It's never failed me before. We don't need her coming down here to finish me off or whatever it is she might do now that I know what her treatment plan has been all these years. Heck yeah, sleepover! But now we're just locked downstairs. You're holding me hostage down here, or what exactly? I'm your prisoner now. Right? What was your plan with that exactly? Maybe I was a little panicked when I found out she'd been giving me. And she was upstairs talking through the door saying I should just take my pills, and I just... took what few precautions I could. It's not ideal, but at least it buys us time to figure out what to do. We should treat her as a serious threat. This might sound strange, but I think she's gone to some desperate lengths in the past. There are these weird memories I have. I always assumed they were just dreams or hallucinations, but now I'm not so sure. I think she used tranquilizers on me once. Other times that I've gotten too unruly for her. I don't know how much of those memories I can trust, but I'm starting to think I should believe my instincts when it comes to the lengths she's willing to go to keep me under her control. We'll wait until she's asleep, then we can at least get out of the basement and we can figure out what to do from there. Why would your mom poison you? Which, I mean, we've suspected this too. I feel like this is a red herring. Something else is going on here. But why would your mom poison you? In real life, I would also be like 100% Munchausen by proxy. I don't know. But the internet says this is castor bean. It's used to make ricin, a super deadly poison that can cause some of my exact systems. Maybe she's not the red herring. Yeah. As soon as he said castor bean, I was like, yeah, no, that's not good. There is no medical benefit to having castor bean. Ricin is super bad. Jay's like, hello? And death, usually. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. If there is something supernaturally wrong with you, the former. If it is Munchausen by proxy, the latter. Either way, I don't think I've ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. So she sure found a cure for that. Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed a tolerance. I think the fact that I feel more and more alive by the minute is enough proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. No matter what, we should get out of this basement soon. I need to get you out of here. Who knows what she'll do when she finds out what you know? With your evidence, you should be able to go to the cops. Maybe not the local cop, but a cops. We need to get you out of here. Who knows what she'll do when she finds out what you know? Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. Oh no. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. We can call Tabitha, please. I don't have any other family to go to. I never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. I know I'm really worried about Kanika now too. You can stay with me if you want, at least until you get on your feet. You can stay with me if you want. We can figure it out together. Just one step at a time. Let's start by waiting your out your mom getting out of here. We can figure it out together. You'll help me? I couldn't ask that of you. I've wanted to help you since I heard about you, sir. I'm so concerned about what's happening. I'm really concerned. I guess I don't have much of an alternative. Thank you, Sammy. You have no idea how much that means to me. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Oh no. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. Sir, what's wrong with you? It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. You could always draw me like one of your French girls. What if your mom doesn't fall asleep? You shouldn't call her my mom. As far as I'm concerned, she's forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. She's just some woman now. Can't wait for her to be in the rearview mirror of the rest of my life. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something else out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which she always says was for burglars. Now I assume it was yet another way to keep me boxed in. But we can try to break them anyway. I'm glad I'm reacting just like Just go with the flow. No, I believe you should owe me a showing of Shido-Chi's death blood. I believe I do. The problem is the break-in way was on the roof and we're locked in the basement. So I don't know how useful that is. But still, I'm a little frustrated that call Tabitha wasn't an option. Just like when we were at the church, I'm a little frustrated that we couldn't be like, hey, why the fuck is Wayne there? He's the one I'm concerned that did something to... Whatever. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people react to this sort of thing I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time, what with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and of course the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs has been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the narrative that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. This sounds like it's so cool. I want to see the real movie. His teeth are very pointy. Can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out. Like watch movies with another person. Or talk to people, ever. You can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on long conversation. Hold his hand. Glad you'll be able to have a social life, and I'm happy to be part of it. Shh, I'm watching the movie. No, I'm gonna get that. Reese smiles to himself. I know, the music is so uncomfy. It's still hard to imagine. Hard to believe after all these years alone that that's going to be my reality. The ringing in the background is unsettling. A man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sort of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. This isn't medical commentary about the game, is it? And then that horror sees you back. Incredible cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now, what with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. It's totally meta commentary about the game. I think a movie is too chill for you right now. Maybe we should just figure out how to leave. Reese, are you feeling okay? He's definitely going a bit manic. I'm just jittery. I've had a really weird day, and I think being down here is making me anxious. I'm all hopped up on adrenaline. Maybe waiting at the dock is a bad idea. The longer we wait, the more likely it is that she'll figure out that we're onto her, and it would be too easy for her to lock me up again and be thorough about it this time. There's a knock on the window. Oh. Hi, Wayne. I don't like you. Can you leave me alone, please?
Sammy, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home.
That voice. I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around? Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. Why did he call you that thing? This is some kind of monster, and he wants me dead. Can't you feel that? The murderous intent is practically oozing out of him. But I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. Oh, the breathing. Oh, stop it. Protect both of us, Sammy. No, calm down. Calm down, Reese, please. Please calm down. Window shatters. No, Reese, please. Reese tears at his clothes. Paint bubbles out of the canvases. These ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls.
Get a little tail.
Reese, no.
Grab my hand, I'll pull you out.
Reese, please calm down.
Leave us alone.
Reese, buddy. Take a deep breath. Calm down a little bit. You're gonna be okay. The surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off, and Wayne along with it. So here we are.
We aren't safe, but I can protect you. I can protect the both of us from the people who want to control us. I feel strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here, I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the doc.
No, Reese, please. Please, Reese, no, please don't kill the doc. Please, calm down. We can figure this out. Please stop. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his smears. Call Tabitha for help. I'm inclined to do that because she has actually been helpful the other several times we've gotten in trouble. I don't think warning Dr. Kelly is going to help. I feel like that's going to be futile. I know, right? Now calling Tabitha is an option, sure. You couldn't have done that hours ago. Yeah, you're right. I should save first. Shit. I don't think calling out to Dr. Kelly is going to help. Best to follow Reese and see how things play out, or try and leave. Oh, shit. What do you guys think? Oh, I just want to help Reese, even with his demon form. I just want to help. You think call Tabitha? Okay, we'll do that first. Dial your cousin's number. Hey, where are you? I'm at the clinic. I think Dr. Kelly is in danger. There's a monster in loose. What do you know about Reese? Reese transformed into a monster and is on some kind of a rampage. Can you come pick me up? What do you know about Reese? A dying emo kid? Just that he's been dying for like a decade and he smells weird. Why do you ask? Oh, are you hanging out with him? I'm generally of the mind that you can see whoever you want, but I have to draw the line somewhere. I'm coming to pick you up. Clearly you need a chaperone before you make any decisions you regret. Yeah, trying to leave won't do as much. Yeah, I don't think leaving would do anything. Did you know that he can transform into some kind of monster? Because he can. Noted. Your cousin hangs up the phone. Oh good, we can do multiple things. I don't like the breathing game. I don't like it. Not sure to who to help. Best follow Reese and see how things play out. Oh good, he sealed off all of the windows. Wonderful. You make your way to the door that beckoned to you yesterday, all intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper to the doctor's office, there's a monster preparing to do something unthinkable. Is it bad that I'm genuinely not scared of Reese? I'm just like, buddy, calm down. I want to help you. I'm not scared of Reese. I just want to help him. Grasp the handle and turn. Street smart. Dr. Kelly emerges from the shadows and levels a firearm in your direction. You instantly notice it's not a proper rifle, but some kind of tranquilizer gun. Duck! What? Where? It's duck. Do as she say, duck. Get out of the way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile... Oh. As the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air to hit Reese. Reese, buddy, calm down, please. Pulls the tranquilizer dart out of his chest, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're going to have to try harder than that, you... No, how did you? As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows from between the cracks in the wood, Reese's panic pulling in a mob of furious smears to hold his enemy in place. The artist darts away. The smears continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway, and Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. Bye, Wayne! I don't care about you! Run after Dr. Kelly! She's... Whatever's going to happen is probably going to happen to her. You run forward, braving the onslaught of the smears, dodging them as best you can as you try to see where Dr. Kelly went. The door in front of you is smothered in paint. Hey! Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Sammy! I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. Helping you, poisoning him, you deserve to pay the price. What, so you can keep poisoning him forever? I'm gonna go with what, so you can keep poisoning him forever? Christ, is that how this happened? You helped him sleuth that out? Well, good job. Now you get to see why I would choose to give my own son lethal doses of poison every day. If I don't, he turns into a murder machine. I need you to get to the medical storage room. I'll give you further instructions when you're there. Apparently I don't get a choice. Turn back around and head to the medical storage room. Here. Great. Now listen to me. I need you to use that black taped key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. Door opened. It's a bottle labeled carfentanil. Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Sammy, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not gonna hurt anybody else, just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now, better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous, she's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. I'm not gonna let you kill someone, Reese. Wayne, help me. No. I'm not gonna let you kill someone, Reese. Why not? She wasn't afraid I might die. Does she know those tranquilizers aren't going to kill me? Does she care? Trust me, Reese, I've always been careful with your medication. I want you to live. I love you. Tell yourself whatever lies you have to, Mom. If you wanted a good relationship, you had your chance, and you decided to convince me I was dying instead of just letting me exist. Try to spin it like some kind of crime of Pat Wayne, now that the consequences are staring at you in the face. I'm hoping it's just because he's angry or panicking or whatever, but I don't know if we'll ever get to know. Enough. Reese cries out in pain. Ah, what the hell did you do to my shoulder? We'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head back to the safe room. Do as she says. The tranquilizer was easy to find, marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. She's certainly an organized woman. I don't get a choice in this? Make your way out of the medical storage room and back to the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. I would really just like to try to calm him down. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the massive paint, sealing it shut. Hurry! I don't think I can keep it open for long. Slip plaster into the safe room. I'm sad that I don't get a choice in this. She shuts the door quickly, though. One of the little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. Yeah, gross. Sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. What is this room? Old x-ray room. Lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote-controlled locks. Glad it finally came in handy. Let's talk, Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide. Did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. When did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. Figured he might have had some kind of genetic disorder. Had him checked out a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument, and he changed right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now, just a couple of inches and some facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. I was scared he could see that, and he stopped. Thought it was a one-off, or maybe a hallucination. Right? How do you figure out that castor oil would fix him? But maybe she tried to kill him, and it kept it under control. The second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure that this was something beyond my realm of expertise. Why did you start poisoning him? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I've been giving him increasingly high doses of Klonopin, but his body kept adapting and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with someone. So I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. Who approached you and what did they say? Dr. Kelly gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman. It's Sybil. But screw it, I might die tonight, so sure, I'll tell you. Excuse me? What the fuck? It's Sybil, and she's manipulating us through the tea she fed us earlier. Hey, I wanted that info. Give me memories, game. Give me. What is he? At first, I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. He looks like a demon, honestly. I almost wish I could examine him when he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. Hence the elasticity. Was his dad similar? Strange little smile creeps onto Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. Excuse me? There's so much weirdness happening in this episode is so bizarre. It breaks my brain so many times. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. Kept having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet, but they were just dreams. So basically, a demon was coming to you at night and getting the freak on with you. Got it. But then all of a sudden, my period stopped. I got morning sickness. And roughly 9 months later, Reese. The relationship between you seems so difficult. Yeah, you could say that. He was such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready. But he made me love being a mom. It's not like it was going to be sunshine and roses forever, no matter what. Kids grow up and they change, sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mom, too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't going to go around eating people. I don't think that's part of being a mom. At least not for most mothers. How do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number 1. It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. But every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine this if this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. You could have just talked to him. Do you think it might be I can fix him! Do you think it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Oh, don't preach to me. Is he a sweet kid most of the time? Absolutely. And Ted Bundy was sweet to the people he picked up off the side of the road. No! Because Ted Bundy was making choices. You are hiding information from your son. They are not comparable, ma'am. This is not a comparison. What the hell? I mean, go ahead and slaughter them anyway. I know what my son is capable of, so it's my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. No. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? You have it all. You have no idea how relieved I am to finally say all this shit out loud. What's the game plan, both short and long term? Well, pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. Has that worked before? So you're just gonna lock him away again. There has to be some other way. It's just going to make him feel trapped. Sure is, especially since I'll have to isolate him even more now that he knows what's going on. He's going to hate me. But you gotta work with what you've been given, and what I've been given is an ethical dilemma where I either let my son kill me, freeing him to go out and kill others, or imprison him for the rest of his life and force feed him poison to keep him controlled. That is not your only answers. You guys could work on this and develop coping mechanisms and try to get it under control. It's not this or that. Or the third option, kill him. No! I've decided which outcome I can live with. No. I'm so mad that I can't argue this with her. Those are not your only options, ma'am. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to the safe room. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Paint monsters. Here you come. Reese, baby. Reese, look at me. Look at me. Calm down. Calm down. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. Oh no! I don't want to give them to her, but I also don't want her to die. And I'm really concerned this is gonna be like episode 1 where one of the two of them has to fucking die. I want a way out of this, but this game doesn't give me those. Somebody has to get punished. Episode 1, it's either Duke dies or Gretchen dies. Episode 2, it's either Oscar's kid loses her fucking leg or the two girls get trapped in the goddamn mines. Episode 3, unless you have a very specific skill, somebody is gonna lose out. This game does not give me the option to talk my way out of things, and it upsets me. So I'm gonna go with my instinct to not give her the tranquilizer darts because we did save it, right? Yes. I'm not gonna give her the tranquilizer darts because that's what I want to do. But I think we're gonna have to, so then we'll go back. But I'm not gonna give her the darts first. But it shouldn't just be book smart. There's 6 traits. They should be useful. Like, other ones should be useful. Goes around, comes around. No. 2 of you are never going to find common ground. You've had your chance to fix this. Now it's time for Reese to finally get to live. No. You've convinced yourself he's evil. You'll never give him a chance to just exist. It's not right to let you lock him away. Stop messing around and hand it over. Nah. No! Tabby, what did you do? No, Tabitha! What the fuck? What the fuck, Tabitha? Shot rings out. Reese's body is thrown to the wall. Shotgun in hand, your cousin rounds the corner and trains her weapon on his writhing body. Tabitha, what are you doing here? Stop it. Let me sedate him. We can deal with this non-lethally. Are you insane? That thing was trying to kill you. Help Dr. Kelly sedate Reese. You leap forward, placing your body between Tabitha and the whimpering Reese, his face already trying to stitch itself back together as he writhes on the ground. As you move, Dr. Kelly sprints around the corner and towards the medical storage room. Sammy, what the hell do you think you're doing? Don't kill him, he's still a person! Person, my ass, did you see his face? Syringe in hand, Dr. Kelly kneels by her son and injects him. Both of you shut up and help me drag him into the safe room now. Turn to see Dr. Kelly already pulling her son towards the open doorway. Tabitha swings the gun on her to her back, huffily jumping in to help Dr. Kelly. It's not long before his regenerating but sedated body is sealed away behind the door. Achievement unlocked, keeping the status quo. I don't like it. Not exactly how I thought this would play out, but at least none of us are dead. If you've done any permanent damage to him, you're going to be the one paying for the medical supplies, Miss Scarlet. You aren't seriously going to keep that thing alive, are you? It's clearly dangerous. What makes you think you can keep it locked up? It is my son, Miss Scarlet, and despite appearances, he is still human. I prefer you to refer to him as such. And I've managed to keep him safely locked away and harmless for years. Sure, it'll be a little more difficult now that he knows about his condition, but that room is lined with lead. He's not going anywhere. He's human? Are you sure about that? Are we talking about the same guy? Trust me, I've done genetic tests. He is human somehow, and it's my job as his mother to protect him, and to protect people from him. It's not a burden I take lightly. You don't have to worry about him getting out anytime soon. He's not a monster. Dr. Kelly bought us time. I'm sure we can figure out what to do about him later. I'm gonna go home. Reese is a good guy. He's just misunderstood. Don't give me that line. I don't see what I could misunderstand about a guy who was clearly about to swallow you both whole. I don't care about what his feelings were when he was getting ready to make a meal of you. I care that he was capable of it. I'm not going to debate this with you, Miss Scarlet. It's none of your business. I can handle it from here. Now, both of you get out. I have a lot of cleaning to do, and I don't feel like entertaining a couple of bickering cousins while I do. At least he's alive, and maybe we can try to help her deal with it another time, but you and your cousin leave the clinic. Yeah, you're also capable of it, Tabitha. Shut up. I love you, Tabby, but shush. You and your cousin leave the clinic, Dr. Kelly slamming the shotgun-blasted door behind you. Two of you make your way to the bottom of the hill where Tabitha's car is parked among the sleepy houses of Scarlet Hollow's residential street. She places her gun in the trunk and turns to face you. You're alone right now. Is Stella still missing? I tried calling her a couple times, but I kept getting her stupid voicemail. Yeah. Shit. Let me think. It's a long shot, but there's a place that might be worth checking out. Or going on a hike. Yeah, I'm assuming it'll be future episodes. He's sedated for now. But he's still alive. So hopefully we can deal with this. After a bit of a trek, you and Tabitha stop by the edge of a 2-lane road near the town limits. Oh, this is where her parents died, isn't it? There, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. You watch her from the underbrush. She's alive, thank God. She sounds more exasperated than relieved. Though you know by now that it's just her trying to cover up genuine emotion, she's deeply relieved and terrified to show such vulnerability. How'd you know she'd be here? It's where her parents died, yeah. She ran off after we saw a ghost last night. It just made sense that she'd be here. Let's go talk to her. I don't know, we've got baggage. I'll just make things worse. No, you're right. She's been practically begging for us to be closer than we are. It's time I stop letting my dead mother dictate who I'm allowed to talk to. Let's do it. Two of you join Stella, perched on the old log on either side of her. God, Sammy, that ghost really did a number on you. I'm so sorry. You had Sammy worried all day, you know. Went all over town looking for you. And it looks like you got into some trouble too. Sammy, you're all covered in blood. I think a lot of it's paint, actually. Paint? What? This is where your parents died, right? That's not a safe way to wear a seatbelt. Stella, what are you doing? That's a very bad way to wear a seatbelt. How did you not die? Oh, because the whole top of the car was sheared off and you were laying down on the seat. That's how she survived. Oh. Stella. Oh, don't show it to us. We don't need to see it. Aww. Oh, jeez. Achievement unlocked at the edge of everything. Have you been sitting here all day? Yeah. Just waiting. Oh, she found out ghosts were real, so she came here to try to see if she could see the ghosts of her parents. Silence falls over the three of you, the wind rustling in the leaves and the sound of night insects carry on around you, muted in the still night. Nothing happened, though. That's probably for the best. Tabby, did I do something wrong after the accident? What? There's whole years of my life that feel like they just never happened. Like every time I try and remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel that I don't even remember filming. It's scary. Did I do something to push you away? No. All you wanted to do was talk to me, but Pearl Ann wouldn't let you near me. Oh. Man, fuck Pearl Ann! Stop hiding behind your mom's corpse. She's got the only person who makes you decisions about your life now is you. That's it. To the Dead's Moms Club. To the Dead Moms Club. Yay! Everybody's on board now. Achievement unlocked. I never forgot about you. Aww. Phoebe stare out into the quiet night. I think the accident is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I think I just wanted to see them again. I wanted to know whether I ever even could. I never found anything, so I eventually gave up. And last night happened, and I ran out here to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the crash again or seeing them all messed up and dead. I just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. Don't think they're coming. Do you want to say goodbye? Stella sits in silence for a long moment, her breath slow and even. Goodbye. I love you. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine. She's silent again, as if waiting for a response. No response comes. She smiles, a lively glimmer returning to her sad eyes. I do kind of want to go back and play this with the other save file, because that one, unfortunately, Gretchen is not alive, and I'm sure this is even more depressing. That kind of felt better. I don't think I realized how much I'd kind of trapped myself in my own head. Thank you for breaking me out of it, you two. Stella straightens up, her back, stretching her back. Gretchen wags her tail, tags jingling in the quiet night air. How is Gretchen not starving? I know that stretch. That's the time to go home stretch. Thank the Lord I'll be sleeping in my own bed tonight. Thank you for talking sense into this girl. We should probably head back, right? I haven't slept in a day. No, she should know. Wait, before we go, we should tell you about what happened today. Oh? Are you sure about that, Sammy? It's too late. Cat's out of the bag. Now you two have to tell me about your misadventures. You and Tabitha relay the events of the evening as best you can. Typo. Saying it out loud somehow makes it feel less real, like you're sharing the plot of a horror movie, not something that actually happened to you. Oh my god. That poor guy. And poor Dr. Kelly. This just sucks for everyone. And Tabby, you just brought a shotgun there? Wanted protection. Hopefully Reese and his mom can work things out. We should try and visit him tomorrow. You two can do that without me. Yeah, I feel like bringing Tabitha along is a bad idea after she shot him. This probably wouldn't go very well. You know, I think processing just the one traumatic event is enough for the day. This new one's going right into the void. At least until we can get to the end of the week. This is me. Thanks again, you two. I still love this fucking jumpsuit, man. Let's go, Sammy. I think there's a carton of ice cream with the Scarlet name on it. We're gonna share ice cream! Tabby, wait. Before you go... It's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna sit on the screen for a little while. These two. Aww. Stella wraps your cousin in a tight hug. Don't be a stranger, okay? Never again, I promise. It's fine. I think you need to be better friends with Tabitha, probably. Oh no, she's crying. I don't know if you know this. In your playthroughs, Sister Lily, but recently, in our recent playthrough, prepping for this episode to come out, we have been flirting with Stella, and we discovered that her and Tabby were not just friends, they were girlfriends. You and Tabitha quietly return to the estate and make your way to the kitchen, where she pulls out 2 pints of banana chocolate chunk. She's gonna share her ice cream. It really feels like maybe something about the Scarlet Men have to be sacrificed to hold whatever this is at bay, because a lot of them die really early. And maybe she drove Stella and Tabby apart because Stella can't get Tabby pregnant. Puts one on the table and wordlessly thrusts the other one into your hands. I'm sure there's a lot you want to talk about, but we're both here, we're both safe, and we both had a long week. Let's just exist together. Achievement unlocked! Ice cream social! The two of you stand in the kitchen, quietly eating banana-flavored ice cream while Frou Frou purrs gently in her sleep nearby, an oasis of calm. But as Tabitha's spoon scrapes the bottom of her empty pipe, the moment ends. All right, I'm off to bed. I hope you can get some sleep tonight. Here's hoping tomorrow is uneventful, right? Of course it's not going to be, Tabitha. You're so funny. Thanks for this. Your cousin leaves for her room. It might have been. I don't know. I don't actually ask Tabitha her opinion on that. Your body breaking down from the stress of the day's events. There's nothing left for you to do but head to bed. That would make it at least like 2 different people that people have accused Tabitha of dating, and she doesn't agree. Because the miners accused her of dating Wayne. Why did we leave our door open? Why would we do that? Who leaves your door open to go to bed? Don't do that. That's a fire hazard. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. Why the creepy music? Oh no, is Wayne here? Is he like in the closet or under the bed or something? As your eyes sink, you realize that something smells off about the room. It smells rotten. Hi, Wayne. This is why you don't leave doors open. There's bad men hiding behind them. Don't look so frightened. I was just going to say goodnight. And to give you a word of advice. Tabitha won't be around tomorrow, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you. And you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. Wait. Wayne pauses at the door. Yes? Did you know Reese was like that? I knew he was different. How exactly I wasn't sure, but now I know. Said you wanted me to stay at the estate. Aren't you going to lecture me? You are free to make your own decisions, and the decisions have been made. I know that something pulls at you, and I know that now you cannot stop until your task is finished. Okay, so yeah, each seal we find increases the pull, it seems like. I'll keep you safe while you do what you must. Why are you following me around? Why not Stella or Kanika or Sybil? Why not Tabitha? Because you're special. But why? Why am I so special? You simply are. Do you not feel the ties that bind us? They are unbreakable. Is Wayne our father? That's what I had that suspicion ages ago. Like, I think like the first or second time we met him. And I'm definitely thinking it now, especially since we don't know anything about her mother, or like her father. Like our father. Seems like Reese gave you for your money. Wayne emits a strange kind of coughing sound. You realize he's laughing. He managed to catch me off guard. Those constructs of his were an interesting little trick, but that's all they were. Good night, Sammy. Wayne leaves your room and closes the door behind him. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming. A sign that now the daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. Close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese, trapped in that tiny, windowless room. All his greatest fears realized, his body no longer his own. But you stopped him from killing Dr. Kelly. The world, at least for now, is protected from him. And then you think of nothing. Achievement unlocked. The artist, good old-fashioned train robbery, Dr. Doolittle. Interesting. Limited edition Wayne plushie. Nah. Save. Are we gonna get any peeks into the next chapters? I'm a little sad that we didn't get to learn any more about what's up with Wayne. I feel so bad for Reese, but at least he's not dead. At least nobody is dead, because I feel like we can't come back from that. Hey, Gabby Smulders. I'm upset. It's fine. gosh, that episode was a lot. In a really, really good way. Oh yeah, well, we definitely have time to learn more. It's just gonna be another extended amount of time until the next chapter comes out. That's why I'm kind of bummed that we didn't get to learn anything more about him. The thing is, so interesting enough, he seems to be hinting that tomorrow Tabitha will be busy at the mines. So we will probably have the freedom to sneak around the house, because that's really the last, like, forbidden place there is. We haven't had time to explore the house, because we keep getting rushed from one place to another. But now all of our friends are back. Nika's not answering her phone either. There's that locked door we found in the one wing. Somebody specifically, I think Dustin or his mom or somebody said there is another person living in this house. They specifically said the sad one and the angry one. And I think chances are pretty high that Tabitha's the sad one, because I think Dustin also said something about hearing her crying at night. So I don't know who the angry one is. I don't know if that's Wayne or if that's somebody else. We'll find out. Oh, you can get into the West Wing in episode 1. Fascinating. Gosh, I just want to keep playing this in all the different combinations. So if you can get into West Wing episode 1, do you find somebody in there, or like what do you find in there? I'm curious. Here, I'm not as concerned about spoilers. Like, we got through the episode, it's fine. I'm still, like, it still really seems like it was Avery who brought the goat to the greenhouse, and I don't know why. I still don't know if I trust the people at the church, but that just might be my innate distrust of religion. He does just seem to be struggling with, like, oh, I can talk to animals. I thought I was crazy this whole time. Something's up with his daughter, though, so I'm sure we're going to find out about the rats. I'm sure we're going to find out more about Sybil. It's interesting because the end of last episode, like, we knew we'd be going back to the clinic, because that's kind of like the teaser they left us on. Okay, so there's somebody in the West Wing. So yeah, presumably this next episode we'll have time to explore it and maybe find out who's living in the West Wing. I don't know where else would be forbidden. I can't think of anything else in the town, specifically around Tabby. Oh, interesting. I guess I'll have to go back and do that then, because now I'm really intrigued. But yeah, so anyway, the last few episodes, it's been really clear of, like, okay, so tomorrow we'll come back and, exercise Oscar's house, or, we're gonna go back to the clinic. So, like, there's been very clear, like, this is what's going to happen. But this episode, that's a lot less clear. We know there's a party on Saturday, and then the funeral's on Sunday. But tomorrow will be Friday? Oh, you didn't see. Go back and watch earlier in this stream. Dustin's mom has been chased out of the greenhouse in the garden because there's a squatter. And we finally got to go check that out this morning. And there's a goat in the greenhouse. And because we talked to animals, once we kind of talked to the goat a bit, and then we actually got in there, and there's just a goat just living in the greenhouse. Somebody tied it up in there and brings it food every day. And we specifically asked, like, did Wayne put you in here? And, like, we described Wayne of, like, big brown coat and big heavy boots. And he's like, not brown, yellow with fur like mine on the top. You do need to talk to animals for this, because it's specifically Dustin's mom. Yeah, it was like 35 minutes into the stream. Dustin's mom is the one that tells you, like, hey, there's a squatter in the thing, so you need to talk to animals. So yeah, anyway, he's talking to the goat, and he says, I don't know, not a brown coat, and I don't know what boots are, I can't help you there, but it's a yellow coat with fur on the top like mine. And then we walk down the hill and immediately run into Avery, who is wearing a yellow coat with furred top and sleeves. So it seems to me like Avery is the one that put the goat in the greenhouse, but I don't know why he would do that. And we didn't get any chance. This game, so many times, this episode, I don't know why we didn't get to use that knowledge of like, hey, do you come up to the estate a lot? Like, did you put a goat in my greenhouse? We didn't get to talk to them about it all. I don't know what Avery is doing, but it feels like that's Avery. I don't know why there's a goat in the greenhouse. I don't know what they're up to. It's so weird. It'd be interesting to go back to our other playthrough and see if Avery still comes up the hill, because Avery wasn't invited to the ghost haunt that time. So Avery wasn't there. So it'd be really interesting to go back to that playthrough and see if Avery comes up the hill. You have a save set with what trait set? But yeah, so we know what's gonna happen Sunday and Saturday, and obviously Sunday's gonna be the big like climax. I don't know what's gonna happen on Friday. Friday's the next chapter, and I have zero ideas what we're gonna tackle. I mean, we have people to like check in on, but there's nothing we need to like accomplish. So that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, so if you talk to animals in this chapter, you can go talk to the goat. But anyway, yeah, you asked me if I'll stream it. I don't know. Would you guys like me to stream it? I was gonna go back to The Witcher, but this game is a lot of fun, and I wouldn't mind revisiting it if people want to stream it. Or conversely, it might be a good thing to like record and upload uploaded videos. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna visit Reese. Which definitely there's something going on with the church. So like there's people we're going to visit, kind of like we did this episode. Oh, something we might do is go visit, what's his name, Bo's neighbor, because they kind of laid the hint that he's been missing for over a week. So that'll be interesting to see what's going on there. So there's a lot of little hints that are laid, and I just don't know if they'll work on it tomorrow or till the next chapter. I love this game. It's so well done. The art's a lot of fun. The dialogue's genuinely really funny, and I'm attached to pretty much all of the characters. It's kind of terrible. Yeah, you're right, Jay. We should wait until after the 14th so we can get that update. But so yeah, I'll figure out what we're playing next. I don't know yet. It's gonna be interesting to see where this goes, but it's going to be quite a while till the next one comes out, I am sure. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. Love to hear your thoughts, theories. Recording upload might be a good idea. More, then people can watch it whenever they feel like it. It's so underrated. It's so good. If only I was better at voices, because I feel like I'm decent at them, but I'm not always consistent. But these kind of games are just fun to flex that muscle. And then just the writing is good, the art's good, the story is absolutely wild. I'm still weirded out by Avery, and I'm weirded out by Sybil. My instincts, oh, thank you, Jay. My instincts are like, well, the people we can flirt with, like, they're probably safe, but I shouldn't trust that instinct. I feel like anybody could betray us. So yeah. It would be really weird if Sybil was the betrayer and she's the one that's warning us we have a betrayer, but I don't know people. I don't understand what's going on in their brains. This whole game is interesting. All of these characters are weird. It's very small town. There's, everybody has secrets. So yeah, we talked about this, the episode where we could actually see the full shot, but I love, that's what she wants you to think, right? This looks like a pretty drastic curve, but then when you actually see it from town, it's even worse. This house is a mess. So anyway, I've talked and rambled long enough. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. If you have any thoughts about what you'd like to see next, like Jay said, probably wait another week before we start Witcher so that we get the new update. But we could play another game in between. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you guys around. Bye.